Hello. Oh man, it's been like 2 weeks since I played this. I don't remember what I was doing. I believe the last mission we did was take out the second criminal person, and now we can go talk to Helena Blake to finish off that. We're still kind of going in order on the map though, so let's just keep going. But hello, Mimikyu, Scandy, Blue. Hi. We can actually go back here and do Garrus's mission. I go from right to left. I'll just do like all these, and I'll do this one. Then I'll come back up here and do these two. Then I'll come back up here and do these. Just how I've always done Mass Effect 1. We already did this one, but we're going back because we have a new mission there. And since the label's nice enough to tell me, I know to bring Garrus to this one. Have we been in this system yet and just didn't have the ship available yet? I don't remember. Is this a situation where the system was already unlocked, or it was unlocked because we have a mission here? I'm not seeing any planets I can survey. However, I did see this. Platinum. I think this actually is a new system. So, you know what we have to do? Gotta read all the planets. I think I'm gonna stop reading the planets in Mass Effect 2. I know there's like different planets in 2, and in 3 there are the same planets, but they have like updates on the bottom. Might read those. There we go.
Tungel is a massive terrestrial world, nearly twice the size of Earth, with a dense atmosphere of nitrogen and ethane. Its scorching hot surface is mainly composed of iron, which extensive deposits of heavy metals and radioactives. It is a mineralogical treasure trove, and many corporations are lobbying for mining rights. Several attempts to chart Matol have been made, but none have been successful. By normal standards, a small rock planet, Matol has a dense atmosphere composed of carbon dioxide and argon, with a surprising amount of water vapor. Fogs and rain are common on the barren, lifeless surface. Matol is pleasant enough to be considered a terraforming prospect, though its low mass and the high radiation of the energetic blue star Herschel place it fairly far down on the list.
Well, that's a long time.
Yay! Yeah, hold on.
Anyway. Ninja, thank you for resubbing for 41 months. Huzzah. What's the longest streak possible right now? Hold on, let me... 41, yeah. Not streak, but total. I believe it's just you, Jay, and Aura that have 40, and myself, have 41 months. Julie, I think, is like only like 2 weeks behind at 40, and will be at 41 months soon. Yay! Also, Mimikyu pointed out something. I haven't died yet in Mass Effect. I'm playing on Insane, and I haven't died yet. Yes, I had that one death that was scripted. It was completely planned. I'm actually not joking about that. It was. While I was testing, my game was like melting my CPU for some reason. And I think I figured out why. It was one of the mods. And as I was turning mods on and off to test it, I also tested to see if I could die on the Citadel with my grenades. You can. But since I was in the process of testing at that point to see what mods were destroying my PC, didn't count it. Because I literally just turned off the game after that and then reset with different mods installed, so. Or on. But yeah. Also, if anyone isn't aware, if anyone here plays Pokemon, the Pokemon Home update came out today. Well, early today, very early today for me. It's like it was available at like 4 in the morning. That means that Pokemon Home is now compatible with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which means we can trade between them now. I will say that it's not, unless you do competitive and like to do battling, it's not that big of a deal. Besides having more story space, which is nice. It's mainly for storing your Violet and Scarlet Pokemon, because there's only 70 new Pokemon available in Scarlet and Violet that you can trade from home, but most of them are legendaries, so you can't breed them. So if you're like me and you're kind of like into like occasional shiny hunting through breeding, and also breeding like Apricorn Ballmons and like things like that, just to trade and have a collection, it really doesn't do anything for me. The only Pokemon that are now newly available from Pokemon Home, Gens 1 through 8, are a bunch of legendaries, and then the Pokemon Arceus stuff, which are in their own Pokeballs, so it really doesn't help me anyway. So it's like not a big deal for that. Meaning a lot of the Pokemon, like I have a bunch of like Apricorn Ballmons in Scarlet and Violet for trade, and I have a bunch in Pokemon Shield. Those Pokemon in Shield still aren't available in Scarlet and Violet. Maybe when the DLC comes out, some of them will be, but that still means I still have to have them separate. The server I'm in actually doesn't allow cross trading, because it was too easy to like just cheat somebody. Like if you said like, I'll trade you a shiny in Scarlet and Violet for a shiny in Pokemon Shield, because that's where my shinies are. And then you do the trade first, and then the person just leaves. It's too easy to do that, so they didn't allow it, but now they allow it. So I can now trade my stuff in Shield too. Yay! It's gonna be an undertaking. For the next like day and a half, or like who knows how long, I am going to be organizing my stuff in Home. That includes my living decks, which is going to be a giant pain. Because I actually forgot about something. I forgot that some of the Pokemon I have in my living decks are in special Pokeballs, like Apricorn balls that are hard to get. So I'm actually going to take those out, breed them in Shield, because most of them go in Shield, and then put them back. So I need to do that too. And then I need to document them for trading material. It's going to be a whole thing. I kind of enjoy doing it, though. I mean, one of the points of Pokemon is to catch them all, so organization's kind of a part of that.
Clegon's hydrogen-helium atmosphere is given a fairly dramatic emerald tint by chlorine and ionized gases. It has nearly 100 moons. What a boring planet. It's this color. It has this many moons. The end. Cloaca, the cousin of Chewbacca. I think I make that joke every time. Cloaca is a moderately sized terrestrial world with a hazy hydrocarbon atmosphere. Its surface is mainly composed of chlorides with deposits of solid and liquid form hydrocarbons.
Also kind of boring. It can be. In this case, the first thing I'm gonna do is take every single Apricorn caught Pokemon, Apricorn Ball, and put them in the copies they'll go in, Shield, and then maybe even Brilliant Diamond, because there's a few that can't go in Shield that can go in there from generations 1 through 4, and then I'll breed them for trading material, and then I'll put those back. See, it used to not matter what Pokeball you caught your Pokemon in, you really couldn't see what it was, but now you can. You can see what Pokeball they're in when you use them. It has like a special animation sometimes, or that's the Pokeball that's thrown. For some people, like myself, I like that aspect. It's like a nice, like, visual thing. So I've been trying to collect certain ones. For instance, in Generation 9, we've had these 7-star raids that introduce starters from different generations.
Sponsor time, Commander.
And I've been collecting those. Besides the Master Ball, and the Safari Ball, and the Sport Ball, because those are just impossible right now to get in those games. The Master Ball isn't, but you can't actually breed that down. I have all the 7-star raid starters in every single Pokeball. From Pokeball all the way down through the Apricorn Balls. Took a while, and taking up a lot of space, too. Which is why it's nice to have Pokemon Home access, just so I can throw them in there. Let's see. Sponsor time. I think we had that one last time. Yeah, we had that one. I think that we had that one last time. The random button on this is not very random. I am eventually going to do this manually. in some way where I have like something set up where I can just pull them myself. I haven't played a card game in a while. I guess Potionomics is technically a card game. Are you kidding me? Random button, please. We got this one last time. These are like the last two that we had. Hey, random button, could you please give me something that I haven't done in a while? Sure, why not? I need to fix this random button.
Today's stream is sponsored by the Shinra Electric Power Company, the world's leading supplier of clean energy. Shinra is a family-owned and operated business that provides the power to most residences and businesses alike for very affordable rates. Shinra is also a pioneer in the fields of genetic engineering and even space exploration. Shinra is truly building us a promised land full of potential. Shinra, sucking the planet dry for profit. Yeah, it's
supposed to be. Let me do it one more time. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Oh, that one would have been more accurate. But at least I don't have to blow out my voice doing the stupid Vorcha yell. So. All right, let's go have a nice visit with Dr. Hart. Now, obviously, Garrus is mandatory for this mission. But who would we bring? We know this person is an organ, like, broker of sorts, who grows organs in his employees and then harvests them for money. So we know this person isn't exactly a physical threat, but Garrus is kind of like the muscle, plus he's also going to arrest him potentially. I can pretty much bring whoever I want. We'll bring Caden. I like how Caden has become like the go-to. Yeah, we can bring anybody. We don't need anybody special. Let's bring Caden. Oh, doesn't require anything important and it can be anybody? Caden. Different doctor. Different doctor. Now, let's be careful here. I am playing on Insane. I need to treat this as such. Come on out. Uh-oh. Garrus, you're kind of getting in the way here. Garrus. Garrus, no! He got slapped. He got taken out by one slap.
For a bit, I'm in the middle of some calibration.
Yay, Garrus is here. Wrong button. Wrong button. We have 3 more targets remaining. Can I not die to them? Good job, Caden. Which way you going? Alright, Garrus. The danger is past. You can get up now.
Perimeter secured.
Garrus. There you go. I believe this is also part of one of the mods I have installed, I think, where it reskins these things a little bit. Normally, I think they're just Thorian creepers, but I believe they're reskinned a little bit to make it look like they're just test subjects and not just reused assets.
Thank you. Thank you for saving me from those things.
Commander, that's him. That's Dr. Saleon.
What? My name is Hart. Dr. Hart. Please, get me out of here.
Are you sure it's him?
Glad to have you on the team.
There's no escape this time, Doctor. I'd harvest your organs first,
Hey,
but we
Wes.
don't have the time.
You're crazy. He's crazy. Please, don't let him do this to me.
Hello, FemRVBit. Thank you for the resub for 2 months. Oh, big stretch. Oh, big stretch. Yeah, as you can see, we're messing with Dr. Hart right now. Or Dr. Salion. Are we doing a Paragon or Renegade? Oh, we're doing Paragon. I'm playing as like my typical Engineer Shepard, so mostly Paragon. I'm kind of doing a what if scenario. My very first playthrough of Mass Effect ever, which is on the 360, the first system it was ever on, I was a soldier, and I romanced Ashley. And then in 2, I romanced Tali. Before 3 came out, I actually replayed the entire series as still a soldier, but the only change I made was I didn't romance Ashley. I romanced nobody in 1, so I could just romance Tali in 2 and in 3. That was the only thing I went back and changed. Now, since I've played those, my canon character has become an engineer instead, not soldier. So I'm playing as that, but I am doing a what-if scenario. What if I had never retconned the romance with Ashley? What if my character was an engineer instead of a soldier? That's a difference there. But also, what if I kept the romance with Ashley and see the difference in the dialogue? Because I've played through Mass Effect a lot, and I've done a good bit of the romances. Yes, I am guilty of doing the same ones over and over again. Like Tali. But I have seen a fair bit of them. One thing I have never done, though, is romance more than one person. I don't mean in the same game. I mean in different games. I've never seen the dialogue that can come from romancing somebody in 1 or 2, and then someone different in 2 and 3, and see what they have to say. I've never done that. So, now I'm doing it. I'm romancing Ashley in 1, Tali in 2 and 3, and I want to see their interactions. And my interactions with her. I think it'll be nice and awkward, and interesting. I like how this is the middle option. The middle option is supposed to be kind of neutral. That's not neutral.
We'll take him in. Drop him off with the military.
But we have him. We can't let him get away. Not again.
You make a good point, Garrus. You make a good point. But
If he dies, we'll never know what he's been up to or how he did it. We'll take him in, interrogate him, and he'll serve his time.
Okay. You're right. You're a very lucky Solarian. You owe the commander your life.
Oh, thank you so very much.
kill him, Garrus. Garrus? There you go.
And so he dies anyway. What was the point of that?
I'm not sure who just shot him, Garrus or Kaidan. It kind of looked like Kaidan did. But, I don't know, Garrus had his weapon out for like 1 second, then put it back up. We'll just say Garrus did it. Which one has Inferno rounds, I guess, is the one who killed him.
You can't predict how people will act, Garrus. But you can control how you'll respond. In the end, that's what really matters.
Yeah. I don't think I ever met anyone like you, Commander. Well, I guess we're done here.
Salion's medical equipment is stained with the blood of many species, pale blue, violet, orange, and more than a few dark red. But his work has ended here. Time to head back to the Normandy. Now, which blood matches which species? Pale blue and violet. One of those is Asari. I don't know what the other is. Orange would be Krogan? Don't Krogan have orange blood? Oh, you think I should know this? I don't remember. I don't remember my blood colors from Mass Effect species. I remember Vulcans have green blood. Oh, that's... Yeah. Turian blood is blue. Yep. Violet is Asari. But yep, I remember in Star Trek, Vulcans have green blood. Although I think that might have been a retcon thing. Like at some point in the series, one of the series, maybe even the original series, I think you saw a Vulcan bleed and it was just like regular blood. And then at some point they decided, no, it's green now. Romulan blood is also green, but there's a reason for that. If you know your Star Trek. Alright, well, we did Garrus's mission. We were going to arrest him, but he decided otherwise. Well, the guy did, not Garrus. Although, let's be honest, Garrus from Mass Effect 2 100% would have shot him in the head before I had anything to say. He would have seen him and gone, "Hey, Dr. Hart," and just shot him in the heart. Solarian Sam, yep. I remember that from when Morden was, well, in that playthrough. What about Quarian blood? I'm pretty sure you never see that. Let's see here. Well, the next step would be up here, normally. So let's start up there.
Message coming in, Commander. Big surprise, the Alliance needs you again.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hackett with Alliance Command. We've got a mission for you. An Alliance officer named Major Kyle has set up a small compound in the Hulking Eta cluster. He's attracted a number of followers.
Remember to stay
mostly
hydrated.
biotics. He's become an outspoken critic of the Alliance, and we believe he's mentally unstable. This could be trouble, Shepard.
I like my different options here. Maybe you're overreacting. It's like, okay. Also, Major Kyle is not a biotic. I always found it strange that he made a cult of followers that are all biotic when he's not biotic. I shall drink. This is one of the mods I have installed. Every time you get a call from Admiral Hackett, or sometimes other people, instead of just listening to their voice at the map, it'll take you to this room and you'll talk to them. There was one that broke that was really weird looking. So it hasn't happened since then. I don't know. I'd have to try it. It's still in the fridge. I usually don't grab it until like 7 o'clock. Maybe you're overreacting.
What kind of proof do you have that the Major is dangerous?
3 days ago, we sent 2 Alliance representatives to meet with him at his compound. They've disappeared. We believe Kyle and his followers killed them. That compound is a cult, Shepard. They call him Father Kyle now. He set himself up as some kind of religious leader.
You said his followers were biotics?
Yes. Major Kyle never showed any biotic tendencies himself, though. I think he's just latched onto a group he identifies with. Many biotics feel marginalized or ostracized by society. Kyle probably sees them as victims who need his protection, and they see him as someone who will fight for them. Unfortunately, he's convinced them that the Alliance is somehow responsible for all their problems. We can't let him go on like this.
What were those Alliance representatives going to talk to Major Kyle about?
They wanted to bring him back to an Alliance facility for treatment. Major Kyle served us faithfully for many years. We weren't going to abandon him. Given his state of mind, however, he probably saw them as a threat. We're almost certain he had his followers killed him.
At least that's kind of a nice change of pace to a lot of stories. Kyle kind of became like mentally unstable because of stuff he'd seen, probably, and they were going to help him. I mean, well, according to Hackett, they were going to help him. Look, I trust Hackett. He seems like a decent person, but we don't know what else was happening behind the scenes. We could have there's a mission in Mass Effect 1 that happens if you're a spacer. What is that guy's name? He's a friend of your mother who served on your mother's ship, and I believe he was at the Mindwar raid. And since you're a spacer, you weren't on Mindwar yourself, and he saw so much messed up stuff that he kind of he used like alcohol to kind of numb his mind, and eventually he kind of I'm assuming he was discharged. He doesn't look like he's in the Alliance anymore. But he even mentioned Shepard's hey, you could go to the office, this Alliance office that's supposed to be for soldiers with PTSD and other issues like that. And he's like, well, they just kind of pump you full of drugs, but I guess that's not a perfect solution, is it? I'm wondering if this is the same thing. It sounds like it's, oh yeah, we weren't going to leave him behind. He served the Alliance. Let's take care of him. And then they just, well, pump him full of drugs. Maybe that's why he didn't do it.
What else can you tell me about Major Kyle?
He used to be a model soldier, but something happened to him at Torfin. Too many Alliance soldiers died under his command. Couldn't cope with the guilt. His psych evaluations showed he couldn't handle the stress of command anymore. He was given an honorable discharge in early retirement. We'd hoped he would get better in time, but we underestimated how far gone he was. Now it looks like it's too late.
So he mentioned Torfin. Torfin is the planet that Shepard is on if you choose Ruthless. Now, I always thought that Shepard was in command, but I guess they weren't, because Shepard is only a commander. And at that time, they probably weren't even that yet, I would imagine. So Major Kyle was probably in charge of Torfin, and I'm going to guess that Shepard was underneath his command. And then I'm wondering, why doesn't Major Kyle mention Shepard when you're Ruthless? Wouldn't Major Kyle know who Shepard is if Shepard also served on Torfin? That actually brings up something I never thought about. Both War Hero and Soul Survivor have missions that are linked to it. You still get them regardless, but there's like little links to them. Like when you do the War Hero one, instead of the guy is like, "You're a Shepard. You're the one who stopped the war thing," you know, the raid on Elysium. If you're not a War Hero, he's just like, killing the first human Spectre works for me. And then when you do the one with Tombs, Corporal Tombs, where Cerberus is doing experiments on him, if you did Lone Survivor, then he knows who Shepard is, which makes sense. They were both there. Shepard got away. Tombs didn't. Shepard probably thought Tombs was dead, like the rest of them. I'm assuming Father Kyle maybe was going to be the mission for Ruthless, but there isn't one. There actually isn't a mission for Ruthless. There's no mission that connects to it. I'm going to guess this was going to be the mission, because the Major Kyle is connected to it. I actually never put that together until now. How many times have I played this game? Maybe I can reason with him.
I might be able to end this without violence.
That may not be possible, Commander. We don't want a bloodbath, but Kyle is dangerous. I'll trust you to use your judgment. Hack it out.
Now, it is possible they fixed it in the Legendary Edition. I'm not sure. I have not played Ruthless since Legendary came out. Maybe they added in a few extra lines of dialogue where Major Kyle recognizes him. I don't know. Well, time for planets.
Tamahara is a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and xenon. The surface is icy and composed of sodium oxide with deposits of calcium. It contains a few unremarkable metals, but mainly consists of rock. The presence of canyons and floodplains indicate that liquid water once existed, suggesting Tamahara had a thicker, insulating atmosphere in the past. Klindagon is an arid terrestrial, slightly larger than Earth, but with a lower density that reflects its relative lack of heavier elements. The crust is composed of tin and aluminum, with wide deserts of dust-fine sand that are easily stirred by the wind. Klindagon's most striking feature is, of course, the Great Rift Valley that stretches across the southern hemisphere. What is most fascinating about the rift is that it does not appear to be natural. The geological record suggests it is the result of a glancing blow by a mass accelerator round of unimaginable destructive power. This occurred some 37 million years ago. A terrestrial world of average size, hard to say, atmosphere is composed of nitrogen and argon. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of tin with deposits of calcium. Aside from some spectacular formations of water ice at the poles, the planet has little to recommend it. Cobalt. The Rhapto is a typical hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of chlorine and sulfur in its atmosphere. It has over 1,000. It has over 100 moons and an extensive ring system composed of pulverized rock, presumably the debris from shattered moons. While scanning the planet, you discovered a tiny moon with some odd readings. Further scans by Chief Engineer Adams revealed a destroyed escape pod. Your salvage team recovered the components and found a League of One medallion. Presrup is the moon of Clindagan. It is a frigid, barren world with an extremely thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. The crust contains plentiful deposits of heavy metals. The Alliance has opened bidding for the moon's mineral rights, but exploration will be complicated by the system's proximity to the 5 kiloparsec ring around the galactic core. The ring is an area of intense star formation and too dangerous to safely travel. Presrup's landscape is a nightmare of jagged overlapping ridges and geological shock zones created by some ancient disaster. This has not deterred a generation of illegal wildcat miners from attempting to exploit the moon's mineral riches. Unfortunately, many have lost their lives.
Now let's take a look for the typical asteroid. Most systems have one, but some don't. Palladium. So who's going on this mission? This is an Alliance operation. Major Kyle, or Father Kyle now, we probably shouldn't call him that, to be honest. Like, okay, put yourself in, like, Picard's shoes, right? You're a space marine, but you're also a diplomat, right? You do a lot of talking. Who would you call him? Major Kyle or Father Kyle? Major Kyle might bring back bad memories of Torfin when he was in the Alliance, but calling him Father Kyle is just going to make him more delusional. It's going to, like, give his delusion credit. I don't know which one's, whatever his first name is. Maybe just Mr. Kyle, or just learn his first name since I don't know it. I think calling him both of those might be a mistake. Let's bring Caden again. He's in the Alliance, but he's also not shoot first, ask questions never, like Ashley is. And we could bring the Muscle. I mean, look. There are plenty of times Picard beamed down to a planet, or Riker, to do some diplomacy, but he also brought Worf. Why would you bring a Klingon warrior if you're only doing diplomacy? Well, for diplomacy. Sometimes all it takes is someone to see a big, giant, like, warrior person to be like, maybe I should pay attention. Maybe I should be more willing to talk to these people. It's effective. Okay, this is one of the first planets I ever landed on in Mass Effect. This is before I knew that in Mass Effect you could do missions as you just found them on planets. I was used to more like RPGs, where unless you found the mission, you couldn't do it. And this is one of the first missions you find on the Citadel. So, this is one of the first things I went to. In fact, I think I went here before Theorem. I always do Theorem first now because, well, party member, but... we only need more heavy metals and that's it. Unfortunately... Oh, it actually does tell me. Are these considered heavy? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay. There's light, heavy, rare, and gases. Gold is pretty heavy, but could also be considered rare. I don't know what it's considered. Uranium has to be rare. I'm pretty sure uranium wouldn't be considered just like, it's just a heavy metal. But I think gold is worth getting. Oh, there's also a thresher mall over here. Guess where I'm not going? There's nothing over here. I have no reason to go over there. I know I have this mod installed where I can see everything on the map. So you're like, oh, you're cheating. You know where the thresher mall is. I wouldn't go over here anyway. Like, normally all you can see is, like, the question marks and the X's. I have no reason to go over here. Normally I just do a circle that starts here and then around here and then I'm done. Which is what I'm doing. Now the thresher malls that appear on the map next to something I've been fighting, because I would have fought them anyway. Man, I hope they bring back the Mako and planetary exploration for the new Mass Effect game. I miss that. This cluster of prefab utility shacks have a distinctly ramshackle look to them. A set of rover tracks lead away over the mountain ridge to the southwest. And this would unlock a place on the map. Which I would have gotten anyway. Okay. What goodies can we find? Oh yeah, I'm also almost full on items, which is gonna be a pain. After this mission, we are going to equip the best stuff on all our teammates, and then we're going to either break it down into Omnigel or sell it. If anyone's played Mass Effect several times, you know buying stuff is really not worth it. You find so many armor and gun and weapons in this game. It's not even really that worth buying stuff. Unless you want to get like cool Spectre things, but still. But in this playthrough, I might actually buy some stuff. I might. Just for fun. Like, I haven't bought stuff in this game since the first time I played it. Maybe I will buy some stuff. Like, if I can't find any new Corian armor, for instance, maybe I'll find a Corian armor for Tali. I feel like out of all the armor for species, Corians would be the hardest to find armor for. They hardly ever leave the flotilla. Why would I find Corian armor for sale in the Citadel? Turian armor makes complete sense. I mean, that's kind of their thing. Krogan, while not making sense to be on the Citadel, I can still see it. And Asari can just wear human armor.
Redeploying.
Alright. No. Could I go in, please? Thank you. Digging under the beacon revealed a piece of scrap metal, likely from a very old freighter. It was marked on one side with the Macedine Outpost insignia. I might want to start breaking stuff down now. I might have to. Well, let's see if Shepard wants anything new while I'm in here. I can fire it more, but it does less damage. Nah. Oh. Oh, it's a better version of what I have on. That makes sense. Right now we have Shredder Round 6, which is good for this mission because I don't plan on having to fight anybody on this mission the way I do it. But, you know, just in case, I don't mind keeping Shredder Rounds on there. Do I have a better version? We only have 6s. Okay. Then we have Rail Extension 4. Do we have anything better? Why do I have so many combat sensors? Stability. No, same thing. Okay. I never liked the combat scanner. I kind of think it's just like a waste of a thing. So, of course, I have a ton of them. Incendiary rounds, we have 6. And stabilizer, I think we only have 5, don't we? Yeah, okay. Ooh, Titan armor. A Blade of Coving 5. Well, why not Energized Weave 6? Cooldown bonus. I can wait on them. One of my favorite things to do in video games is to outfit my entire team all at once. I just like doing it. It's fun for me. Like in KOTOR, I love just taking 2 people off the ship, giving them stuff, going back in the ship, getting 2 more people, doing it again. Everyone had their own set weaponry. One person used 1 sword, 1 person used 2, 1 person used a double-bladed, 1 pistol, 2 pistol, rifle heavy. Everyone had their own thing. Even if it wasn't that efficient. Because in KOTOR 1, heavy weapons are terrible. The theory is they're glitched. They're supposed to fire multiple times, like, per turn, but they only fire, like, once or twice. That would explain why it's so weak. For being a heavy weapon. Alright. There's the compound. There's the gold. Oh, the first time I ever did this mission, I did not know that you could just talk them down. I may have broken into the compound. And they all just attacked me. It happens, though. When you play a game for the first time, sometimes you do stuff like that. Oops. Just like I think in my first playthrough, Kiri was dead. I didn't know how to save him. I didn't know you could save him. Then in my second playthrough, I did more stuff during that mission. I was like, oh, you can save him. Okay. Let's get that gold first. Gold. Now that was a heavy metal, correct? That better be a heavy metal.
Shepard!
It was. Okay. Oh. How dare you call out my bad posture?
This is a private sanctuary. Outsiders are not welcome here.
I need to talk to the man in charge. It's important.
Father Kyle wants nothing more to do with the Alliance.
I want this to end peacefully. If he doesn't see me, people could get hurt.
We won't let you take Father Kyle away. He protects us. We need him.
The Alliance wants someone to pay for those murders. Let me speak to Major Kyle, and maybe I can find some way to help you all get out of this alive.
Wait. Father Kyle will speak with you. Head to the building at the far end of the compound. He'll meet you there.
Oh. Uh-oh. Now, this mission's one of those situations where I wish Mass Effect, I wish every game that had like this kind of system punished you more for being a nice person. Like when Father Kyle's like, hey, I'll surrender. Give me an hour. Go ahead and leave. Give me an hour, and I'll walk out peacefully. I wish this mission had a thing where if you did that option where it's like, oh, it's a video game. Video games tend to reward you for being nice. I'll say yes and leave. And then you get a message from like the Alliance like, oh yeah, he decided to not surrender after an hour, and because we warned him, he was now like fully bunkered in, and they had to send in a team of Alliance Marines, and most of them died. All the biotics died. Major Kyle died. I can see that being a thing. I kind of wish that happened more times. Very rarely does a game punish you for doing the nice route. Or other words, the naive route. Generally, games have two ways of rewarding you. If you do the nice route, you get like, you know, extra dialogue, you get nice points, no combat experience through dialogue. When you do the mean route, you get more experience from fighting or just money. If KOTOR taught me anything, it's being nice makes you feel a little good maybe, and also gets through fights more easily, but it also doesn't pay as much. You want a bunch of money in KOTOR? Be Darkside. The reward for being Darkside is literally just money. Hmm? Yeah. All right, Kyle. I'm gonna go this way first. See if there's anything I can steal of theirs. Yep. Luckily, this isn't like some games where as soon as you touch something of theirs, they attack you. That's a lesson I learned. I'm not going to say what game it was because it might ruin the moment for somebody. But I was playing a game where I'd been looting crates the entire game. And I was in like a hostile compound. with people. And they were like, come in, but you better not do anything bad. And if you loot anything, they all become hostile. Oops.
I am Major Kyle. I know why you've come. We have no quarrel with you. Why can't you just leave us alone?
What happened to those other Alliance officers? The ones who came before me?
They wanted to take me away from here. They wanted me to abandon this place, turn my back on my family. They spoke blasphemy. I did what I could to make their end quick and painless. I had no other choice. It was necessary to protect my children. Only I can keep them safe.
The Alliance sent me to bring you in, Major. Can't you see this has gotten out of hand? Don't you understand you're endangering your followers?
I respect that you have come under a banner of peace, but I cannot do as you ask. If you take away their father, my children will be helpless.
Okay. Yeah. As you can see, all these options basically say combat. It just depends on how much you lean into it.
You ordered your followers to kill those Alliance investigators. You must face the consequences of your actions. Do you really want your children to suffer for your sins too?
No, this was my fault. My children are innocent, pure. Please, I never meant for this to happen. I'm sorry.
You're doing the right thing, Major. Your children will be better off for it. Come on.
Wait, if my children see you taking me away, they won't understand. They will attack and you will be forced to kill them all. You have shown me the error of my ways, Commander. Now you must give me time to explain it to them. It is the only way they will understand. Please, give me 1 hour. After that, I will meet the Alliance authorities at the gates of my compound and surrender without violence. I give you my word.
Uh-huh. And this is what I was talking about. I would love if you were like, sure, I believe you, and then in the end it ends up being bad. I mean, he was an Alliance major. We can give him the benefit of the doubt. He sounds sincere. Look, I already know what happens, obviously. I've kind of become more, some would say cynical, but also just more realistic. If I was playing this game for the first time, making these decisions myself, I'm not sure if I would do this. Like, just realistically, I think it's like, I don't know. Kind of like letting the council die. I personally think that if I was in the situation Shepard's in on the Citadel, I would let the council die. Because we don't know if we have enough ships to beat Sovereign. What if we sacrifice too many ships to save the Destiny Ascension and then we couldn't beat Sovereign? We all lose. I think it's kind of a dumb tactical decision. Of course, it's a video game, which again, usually rewards you for being the nice guy.
I'm going to trust you. If you betray that trust, you and all your children will suffer.
I will not betray you, Commander. Thank you for this.
Joker can have the 5th Fleet pick Major Kyle up. I just hope you know what you're doing, Commander.
So do I. Ship returns to Normandy and notify the Alliance of Kyle's surrender. They'll want to dispatch a ship to take him into custody. Let's get out of here. We still need to go to that mercenary spot on the map. And then we'll go back to the ship. We'll outfit all our teams, our teammates, and then I think I'll sell it all. We don't really need that much Omnigel. Also, I'm not fully aware of how the money works in Mass Effect, like from Mass Effect 1 to 2. I think it might be how much money you get at the beginning of 2. It might be based on how much money you have in 1. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. I don't need the uranium, although I might get a little bit of money for it. It's on the way. I guess if I might as well just get it on the way. Brock Shepard will want to get that uranium too, for a different reason. You can probably guess what. I'm still kind of sad I couldn't continue my Stellaris playthrough. It's just the origin I was using was broken. it was supposed to give you like different event chains and do this stuff. Also, when you're like certain things happen, certain things are supposed to happen, but it didn't. So it kind of just broke it and made it pointless to use that origin. So whenever they fix it in the future, I will do it then. That's one of the issues with a game like Stellaris. When new DLC comes out, they're probably going to have to patch some stuff pretty soon. Whether it's balancing updates or just fixing things. Like they'll add something. Let's say they add something to the game, right? And then they don't realize how broken it is until people start playing it. Within like a week of a DLC releasing or an update, there'll be a video that's like, do this little trick. Not even a glitch, just like a combination of things. And you just become like invincible. I did one of them. Thanks to the new governors having different skills that overlap, and you can boost to even higher levels, I was able to do a Remnant was there, actually. I was able to do a Civ where, even without even trying, really, I had a 90% decreased ship build cost. So I was, like, at the point in the game, I was building cruisers for, like, 80 alloys, which is beyond broken. Being able to build a fully loaded cruiser for 80 alloys is just... it's incredibly dumb. There's nothing here? Nothing here? Nothing here. I killed them for no reason. That's okay. They shot at me first.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Admiral Hackett here, Commander. Your helmsman just forwarded your report on Major Kyle. We sent in a team as you instructed. Kyle's followers have disbanded, and the Major surrendered to us without incident. We'll make sure he gets the help he needs. To be honest, Shepard, I thought this thing was going to end in a bloodbath. I don't know how you did it, but you saved a lot of lives. Congratulations.
Thank you, Admiral Hackett. Where to now? I'm probably not doing Pinnacle Station in this playthrough. I am playing on Insane, and I just, like, technically you can't die in Pinnacle Station, except on the last match, I think. So, yeah, I could do it, but I really don't want to be honest. Yes, I have the mod installed that puts it back in the game. I might go there just to see what people look like with the texture mod I have installed, and then that's it. Unusual readings. Isn't this where Rex's armor is, I think? Or is it in the same system with Paragon Station? I don't remember. I know it's in the Argus Row Cluster. Alright, time to read.
Barmalus has a thick atmosphere of hot nitrogen and helium. Its surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of alumina with deposits of borax. The planet has an extensive network of subterranean caves, formed over the millennia by volcanic processes. In these relatively cool areas, some primitive life has developed.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
General distress call from the Sacred Angel Medical Transport. Critical system failure. Losing power. Emergency landing. Argos. Communications failing. Life support and emergency transponder. Won't last. Please hurry.
Huh. Yeah, I still have Robot on.
I did the Pinnacle Station, all of it on stream last time I played the game. And I have done Pinnacle Station on Insane, but it was on Xbox. And I had like that maxed out immunity build with a soldier. It was almost impossible to die. Those missions in Pinnacle Station where you have to die for it to end, I couldn't die. Like, even on Insane, I was having issues dying. I would just stand there and just not die. Like, I just had like such a defensive build. All right.
Metgos is a large terrestrial planet with an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Its hot surface is mainly composed of nickel and deposits of potassium and heavy metals. It is a mineralogical treasure trove, which concentrated heavy metals elements constantly being brought to the surface by volcanic activity. Metgos is inhospitable and dangerous, and expeditions must be well prepared to survive any length of time. With its high mass, heat-trapping clouds, and constant volcanic venting, Metgos seems well on its way to becoming a Venusian pressure cooker world. Theor is a large gas giant with traces of chlorine and sodium in the atmosphere. It also has a significant amount of water vapor in the clouds of its upper atmosphere. Theor was struck by an asteroid at least 12 kilometers in diameter within the last 100 years. The superheated caused by the impact's atmospheric passage created a large bank of vicious storms along the equatorial band. Canrum is a small, rocky world with a trace atmosphere of methane and krypton. Its surface is mainly composed of magnesium and silicates with deposits of carbon. Canrum was the site of the warlord Shiagar's defeat by Turian peacekeeping forces during the Krogan rebellions. While this band was not especially powerful, Shiagar was a female warlord, and one of the few remaining fertile females at that. She had, through viciousness and cunning, parlayed her unique value into a position of power. Krogan males competed for the right to join her band and lie with her. When Shiagar's death was announced, vengeful male Krogan admirers, near and far, swore blood oaths against the participating Turian crews. In the end, several thousand of the Turian participants were killed in open combat or through assassination. To this day, many Krogan proudly proclaim they have the blood of Shiagar. Scans of the planet Canrum reveal dangerous levels of radiation coming from orbit. Chief Engineer Adams conducted further scans and discovered the remains of an ancient warhead marked with the Parthia colony insignia. Saiba is a standard Neptune-type gas giant. The upper cloud decks of the hydrogen-helium atmosphere tinted a dramatic blue by traces of methane. Helium-3.
So yeah, I've heard of Shiagar. Grunt mentions her in Mass Effect 2. And like the memories that were imprinted in him, like Krogan getting revenge on Turians. If they didn't already need a reason to get revenge against the Turians, because they're the ones who deployed the genophage, they also killed one of the most powerful Krogan warlords, who was also a female and considered quote-unquote fertile. We've talked about that before. The idea that how are some Krogan considered fertile when the genophage affects every single Krogan? And my take on that is there is no difference. There are no Krogan females that are more fertile than other Krogan females. It's just a numbers game. Remember how we talked about how the game even mentions how the Solarians didn't take into account what this would do to the Krogan people? They changed their entire government structure, or lack of, to be around like vying for females, because they need the quote unquote, again, fertile females to be able to like continue their lineage. And then it kind of turned all the Krogan into that, which is kind of sad, also dangerous. And I'm guessing that and when a female was considered to be fertile, they probably had several kids. It's a 1 in 1,000 chance. So for any Krogan female to have more than one kid would probably be like, oh, maybe it didn't affect you as much. It probably did. It's numbers. I'm sure there are plenty of Krogan females who had like a few, maybe like a couple thousand tries over their lifetime and didn't get a single kid, even though it's supposed to be 1 in 1,000. It's just the odds. Oop. Well, we're obviously bringing... Well, no, this isn't the mission for Rex. I believe it's in the same system as Pinnacle Station. So, this mission's a distress call. Well, let's bring Tally, in case we need to do some kind of engineering stuff. Maybe their ship is damaged, maybe we can fix it up a little bit. Having 2 engineers on the team would be good. And we'll also bring Ashley. We're not expecting trouble, but something did cause their ship to crash, potentially, so having a little muscle wouldn't hurt. We do have 2 engineers on the team, so maybe it's a good idea to bring some muscle. Because my character doesn't have any. Alright. We have Anomaly, Thorium, which I don't remember if that's light or heavy. Transponder Signal, and Mercury. Mercury might be rare. I only need heavy. Oh yeah, I was also supposed to... hold on. I don't think I have enough inventory space to pick anything else up. We need to go down and take care of everyone's stuff. Luckily, Mass Effect has a nice quality of life thing where you can deck out your teammates without having to leave the ship to do it. KOTOR did not have that. All right. I'm not even sure if Dragon Age Origins had that, and Dragon Age Origins came out after this. Could you equip Dragon Age Origin characters at camp? I think you could, right? I remember there being some game that came out after Mass Effect 1, and you couldn't outfit your teammates unless you like put them in your party and left your hub, like little base, and then came back. I don't remember what it was though. All right, well, Shepard gets first dibs, obviously. We've already gone through most of it. I'm just going to double check if I picked anything up in that one mission that was new. Incendiary is fine on my pistol. Once again, I got another combat scanner. So many of these things. Sniper rifle. Well, this is just better. A little bit. Also, keep in mind, I have a mod that makes all the Mass Effect 1 weapons more like Mass Effect 2 and 3 weapons. So it depends on what they look like. The Avenger is just a Mantis rifle. The Equalizer is the Incisor, which means it fires 3 times. Kind of take that into account. I kind of prefer like just a single target or single firing sniper rifle in this game, so we'll go with the Striker. Striker. There it goes. I don't know who I'm going to be fighting next. I kind of want something neutral. Unless I'm fighting organics, this does nothing. Whereas polonium does something to everything. I think I'll go with polonium for now. Okay. That's still good. Everything is good, I think. Oh yeah, I didn't have a single grenade thing on. Whoops. Whoopsie. Yeah, high explosive is more fun. Alright. Liara and Kaidan get the best pistols. Ashley, Rex, and Garrus are all sharing assault rifles. I wanted to put their points into better stuff that's more defensive, so I only went with one weapon for them, and it's just assault rifle on all 3 of them. I think Tally's my shotgun. I think I'm actually putting points into her shotgun, I think. I don't remember. She's probably the worst person to do that with, honestly, because I want her to put her points into other tech stuff. I probably should give somebody shotgun and somebody sniper rifle. I'll probably give Rex shotguns. I think I've already given him most of his defensive stuff. Ashley makes the most sense though, because Ashley has no biotics and no tech. Rex has biotics. Ashley just has weapons and defensive stuff. So I think I'll make her the shotgun user. I usually make her an assault rifle user, but... Alright, so pistol. Damage is all that matters on your allies, I believe, so... Sure. There it goes. I'll do polonium. Not polonium. What are they called? Proton. Again, damage is all that matters. Now, I don't have that many damage boosting mods right now. I have this one. And I have a bunch. Yeah, that's all. I'm not going to put that on someone who has a pistol. I'll save that for someone like Rex or Ashley. So I'll just put on a combat sensor. Yeah, I'll just... Oh, wait, hold on. I went too far down on that. Yeah. I should just put nothing so I could sell the thing, but whatever. Ooh. Duration bonus, power bonus. Cooldown is a little worse. Sure. They never did fix that. If you go to switch too quickly and you have mods installed, it won't switch. You have to wait like a second. Not a big deal, but if you're not expecting it, you know. Oh, there's better pistols. Well, again, damage is all that matters. 82. Yeah. Good. Liara's done. Tally. Tally is going to use pistols. She has so many things to put points into. I'm not going to put points into shotgun. She'll just be a pistol user. And again, damage is all that matters. I have more of these. Now, thematically, it makes sense to give her the ones that are good against robots. That are good against the Geth. I kind of want to stick with that. I mean, usually, if I know there's going to be Geth enemies, I'll bring Tally just because it makes sense, because she's a Geth expert. Now she'll have bullets for them. Do I want tech cooldown with losing 5 shield bonus and 5 recharge? That's probably fine. Yeah. Okay. You have an outdated thing. You get this. And Tally's done. Rex. Rex is going to be assault rifle. So let's give him the best assault rifle possible. Again, damage is all that matters. He has shredder rounds, which kind of fits his style, I guess. Incendiary also kind of fits his style. We'll go incendiary. With a damage one. Good. Ooh. I have a lot of biotics amps. First one, it is not. This is, oh man, this is my, on stream, this is probably like my 7th or 8th. I played this game a lot. You think I know it a little better how many times I've played it, but yep, I love Mass Effect. Every year when I stream, it's like, I'm going to play new games this year, and then I play Mass Effect. Look, I have to play Mass Effect at least once per year. It's just kind of like, I got to do it. So. Yeah, I get the burnout. There have been times where I was playing this and I just kind of stopped. Not on stream, but off stream. Well, I wasn't lying. I'm playing Elden Ring right now, so that's new to me. Rex, what do you have in here? Nothing. Why do you have nothing? Why did I give you nothing? Sure. I'm also playing on Insane, and I haven't died yet. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen eventually. Garrus is also assault rifle. No, of course, because of Garrus being like a sniper god in 2 and 3, more or less, I make him a sniper rifle user. But Garrus also has tech stuff he can learn, and I want to make sure he has that, so I'm using assault rifles. Because he already has that. Ooh, Starfield, yeah. There aren't that many games coming out in the future that I have on a list of like stuff I want to get. That's one of them. I'm trying to think. What games are coming out in the near future that I'm planning on getting? Well, I'm planning on getting the Scarlet and Violet DLC in Pokemon, just because it's Pokemon. Why not? I'm planning on getting Starfield. I'm planning on getting... what else am I getting? Oh, Suikoden 1 and 2 is being remade for the Switch and PC.
Shepard.
Getting that.
Welcome aboard.
Oh, Retro, thank you for the follow. Wait, are there 3 of them? Are there 3 of them? I thought there were only 2 of them. Is there a third one coming out? Shows you how much I know about the series. I thought there were only 2. Huh. I somehow missed that. I mentioned this yesterday, but there's a handful of games I want to play on stream that I've only played once, but it's been like a long time. Like stuff like Fable 2 and 3. I haven't played those since they came out. Or a game, like there's a game called Kingdom of Olimar, or Kingdoms of Olimar. Amalar? I always say it wrong. There's actually a connection between that and Mass Effect, by the way. In Mass Effect 3, there is an armor set that's kind of like half sci-fi, half fantasy, and it's based on like Kingdoms of Amalar. And there's also apparently armor in Kingdoms of Olimar that has to do with Mass Effect somehow. There's also a Dead Space connection too, but that's EA. That makes sense. Yeah, it's like I don't remember, Reckoner Knight or something like that, I think. I kind of like how it looks, minus all the spikes on it. If it didn't have as many spikes on it, I like it a little better. Alan Wake 2. I never played the first one. It's on my list. I have it on Xbox. You already have the strongest gun possible for you. I'm gonna give you... Kind of depends on what we're doing. Tungsten or Tungsten or Shredderworks Proton. Yeah, I'll go Proton. Watchdog Legion. Have I not heard of that? I don't remember. Oh, there's so many games. Why are there so many games? It didn't work, did it? No, it did not. There it goes. That's fine. Caden. Caden's also a pistol user. The most damage is good. It looks like I have the best damaging pistol on right now. That's fine. You have incendiary rounds. Only level 4, though. Let's do... I guess I'll keep that. And armor. Yeah, we have a lot of people with the Phoenix armor right now. We match. Good. And Ashley. Ashley's using assault rifles. We have a good one for her. Again, with the shred, I need better options besides Shredder and Tungsten. I need to get like more polonium rounds and more incendiary rounds. Cryo? Like, I need better options. Do you have any better armor? Wish you do. Ashley is the only person who can equip heavy human armor on my team. Since I'm an engineer, I can only equip light. Okay. Now we can sell some stuff. That's not...
Commander?
I got turned around where I was.
Williams. Looking forward to it, Skipper.
Meant to be in this corner. Yeah, I heard the first one was okay. I've actually seen some gameplay from streams of the second one. It looked fun. And yeah, sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit to make your first game or movie, because it has to set up the entire universe, which is why I still give Mass Effect 1 a lot of credit. Mass Effect 1 was responsible for setting up the entire galaxy. Everything. And I think it did a really good job. It's not just like a giant exposition fest. I think it's good.
Looking for supplies?
Yes.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
All right, let us sell some stuff. We got a lot of stuff to sell. I should keep a shotgun. I'm eventually going to make Ashley a shotgun user once I get some more points into her. I can't do that in here though. Yeah.
Looking for supplies?
I'll just keep the highest ranked shotgun I have.
Let's see what
you bet, Commander.
Which is this one. Let's see here. The reason why I'd rather sell stuff than break it down, I just don't, breaking down weapons and armor is not that bad. Breaking down upgrades is annoying because you have to like go into the menu and then scroll all the way down. That's a little more annoying. I think it might be a good practice to sell the upgrades and to turn the weapons into goo. But I'm just going to sell stuff. I have a decent amount of Metagel. Now, let me take a look at something real quick. If I remember correctly, doesn't every single weapon break into the same Omnigel? Yeah, those are worth 4. Yeah. Just break like the crappy stuff down and then sell the good stuff. So all these 1s and 2s could just be turned into goo. Hell, even the 4s. Whoops. That's okay. I could use a better assault rifle. It's fine. Even though I'll never use it. And then I'll sell the rest. Well, you probably also go into all the other options. Like this. Okay. I know you could also just convert all junk, but you still have to add it to junk. I still have to press junk on everything. Although I think there's like different, does this game have like junk settings? Yeah, some games have junk settings where it's like anything below this rarity just goes to junk automatically. I think you have to just tag everything. Yeah, you have to tag everything. I guess it's still faster. Because it's like one less menu you have to go into, or like one less prompt. Yep. I honestly wasn't going to use the modded weapons, but it was required for the... What mod is it required for? I think it's for the diversity one. And it required the Halcyon hair pack, number 4, I think, randomly. And also the weapons one. I guess because they spawn NPCs with the new weapon looks. I didn't want to, since I'm playing on Insane, I didn't want to make the game easier. But, from what I've read of the mod notes, there are a few weapons that are made kind of better by this mod, because like different, like better fire rates, that kind of thing. But, they realized they also didn't want to make the game easier. So for weapons that have had their fire rate or accuracy buffed, to be closer to Mass Effect 2 standards, they actually lowered the damage output to compensate. So theoretically, it doesn't make the game easier. That's nice. Okay, good.
Looking for supplies?
Let's see what...
You bet, Commander.
And again, I find it too annoying to go into the other menu and have to do that, because when you, well, I guess the trash thing works better now. Normally, when you convert to Omnigel down the list, you're fine. You can just keep doing that. But when you go into the upgrades for the weapons, the mods, whenever you go down the list to get to your lowest ones to convert, it would then put it back to the top of the list. So you have to keep scrolling all the way down to like your 1s, 2s, and 3s, convert it, and then it goes back up, then you have to go all the way back down again. Plus, I can still use some money. Anything less than 5, we can just sell. There we go. Yep, I am playing as my usual Shepard. I'm an engineer. I'm mostly Paragon. I am doing one difference, though. In my very first playthrough of Mass Effect, I romanced Ashley, and then in my very first playthrough of 2, I romanced Tali. Before 3 came out, I retconned it, and played through 1 and 2 again, and the only difference I did was I did not romance Ashley. I only romanced Tali in 2, and then in 3. I'm kind of doing a what-if scenario. I'm romancing Ashley this time. It's like the one thing I retconned out of existence. Because I have romanced a lot of people in Mass Effect playthroughs, not all of them, but most. But one thing I have never done is romance one person, and then end the romance and romance somebody else in the next game. I've never heard the dialogue based on that, like the little awkward discussions that might take place. And since Ashley comes back in 3, it could make for some interesting scenes. Yep, there it is. Yay. Alright, time to read some more planets.
Patashi is a sun-blasted terrestrial world, whose atmosphere was blasted away millennia ago by the star Phoenix. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of iron with deposits of tin. Due to its relatively low density, Patashi is tidally locked to Phoenix. Seas of molten light metals cover much of the sunward side. Samarium. Solsato is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant. It has no remarkable features. I like how it leans into how boring it is. An atmosphere similar to Earth's made Intaisei an early candidate for human colonization. However, prohibitively, high temperatures and an arid climate have proven a hindrance to terraforming and agriculture. A few human cities were founded, but the majority of the human population on the planet remained scattered across the vast deserts, operating wind farms and geological research stations. During a scan of the Phoenix System asteroid field, you detect an odd energy reading that Tali determined was Quarian in nature. She led a recon team into the asteroid field, where she discovered an abandoned freighter. The team could not determine why the ship was there, but they did find a Prothean data disk on board. Vebonok is a small terrestrial world with a thin atmosphere of krypton and xenon. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of carbonaceous material, water ice, and low-density silicates. Rare but concentrated loads of light metals have been deposited by asteroid impact. One hemisphere of Vebonok is covered by surface deposits of oxidized copper. Approximately 270 years ago, a Turian bulk gas transport was attacked by pirates in the Phoenix System. Damaged, it made a rough landing on Vebonok. The heat of the landing melted significant quantities of surface ice, and ruptured shipping containers spilled LOX across the surface. Before they evaporated and escaped Vebonok's weak gravity, it reacted to cause the widespread rust. Cobalt. Toontown is an enormous, low-density terrestrial planet with a thick atmosphere of methane and helium. Despite being nearly 200 AU from 220 AU from Phoenix, the star's great heat and the insulating thickness of the atmosphere make the surface surprisingly temperate. The crust is mainly composed of sodium and silicate dioxide, with deposits of various light metals. While Toontown is not habitable, the relative pleasantness of the planet's surface conditions make it a popular location for all ships traveling through the Arcus Road cluster to land for drive discharge. Huzzah.
Missed! How dare you call me Space Lawrence? This is for Rex. We're getting back his family armor, so we'll bring Rex, of course. And we'll also bring... We know we're expecting a fight, right? We are expecting a fight. So let's bring Garrus. No nodders. I don't have the Lawrence... actually, well, I can still use it. Well, I don't have the Lawrence emote installed right now in Twitch. It's still on BTTV, so... I haven't played the game in a while. Alright, where are we going? We have a hidden structure. We have lithium, which I think is light metal. Debris, mercury, which I think is like a rare metal. No heavy metals for us. And then the anomaly. Well, this is the mission, so let's go up here first. Oh, look at this. Look at this giant mountain I have to climb. I could just go around it, but I'm in the Mako. I'm not allowed to. This is going to be bad. Come on. Come on, Mako. You can do it. Just keep going diagonal. You'll be fine. Yeah. Ooh. Whenever I see a pyramid in a sci-fi thing, I always think Stargate. Since I love Mass Effect, you'd think it would be Prothean structures because pyramids, right? Nope, I think Stargate. And yes, I did play Mass Effect before I watched Stargate. I never watched Stargate until 2010, I think. I think it was around 2010. So it was actually like soon after Mass Effect 2 came out. Anything here? Aha. But yeah, I was at the job I was working then, someone I worked with was a fan of Stargate, and they knew I liked like Star Trek a lot, and they were like, "Hey, you ever see Stargate?" It's like, I haven't. Like, should I watch it? And like, yeah, you might like it. I binged it. There are 10 seasons of SG-1. I watched all 10 in about 3 months. I just binged it. Like, every time I had a day off, I would just watch it like all day. And then I watched Atlantis. You found one of Major Delenaga's writings on this body. It's possible the writings came from the nearby ruins. Do 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 do. Oh, nothing up here. Okay. Now, normally I wouldn't say this, because, look, the track record for companies these days, I said these days, I'm old. Back in my day, it was, okay. When Amazon bought the rights to Stargate, I should be a little realistic about that, and like, well... Amazon maybe doesn't have the best track record for producing things like that. Like, I'm so desperate for new Stargate, though. I'll take it. If Amazon wants to make a new Stargate series at some point in the future, because they have the rights now, please do. Even if it's not that great, I'll still watch it. Please. I want new Stargate. I'm not sure if that's what they're trying to imply or not. I mean, it's possible. Well, I mean, I feel like any sci-fi thing kind of sometimes touches on that. Like, who built the pyramids? Well, I mean, Stargate also does that. I mean, we do know the Protheans were watching humanity from Mars. We just don't know how much they affected us. Like, did they just do their, like, thing where they installed, like, the chips in people and just watch them from a distance? Did they actually experiment on people? Who knows? Also, there's always, like, outliers. Also, something touched on in Stargate. The idea that a civilization was potentially watching humanity when they were very young. And then they were like, nope, we're not going to interfere. We're not going to teach them anything. We're not going to give them technology. We're just going to leave them alone. But there's always going to be that one person or group of people that are like, no. And do experiments
Shepard.
Without them knowing.
Remember to stay hydrated.
What? Hi, Jeebus. All right. Oh, Jeebus, have you tried out the new Stellaris DLC? Leaders are super powerful now. Well, you don't need the DLC to at least see the new leader stuff, but I believe it makes it way better. You actually get the leader update, but without the DLC, it's very limited. Like, I'm pretty sure without the DLC, you actually can't choose what traits your leaders get, like usual. But since leaders are so much more powerful now, well, it's just like a lot of people will sometimes say, like, you don't need the DLC. You got a free update that gave you most of it. You don't need the DLC. In this case, though, I'd argue you might. To get the most out of it. Also, something I was not aware of. I kind of always forget that it was Stellaris. A lot of things that seem to be integrated into the game 100%, just like, yeah, this is Stellaris, are actually DLC. Like Federations and Ascension perks and traditions. I kind of forgot those aren't in the base game. Luckily, those are old DLC, and they're usually on sale.
You need to turn back, Commander. You're going beyond the range of the operational area.
Shut up, Joker. Alright. Yeah. Also, something I did not know. More than one DLC gives you access to Federations. There's the Federation DLC, but there's also another DLC that introduces a Federation-like thing, and it gives you Federation access without the Federation DLC. Because you need it to work. They didn't want to make a DLC that requires another DLC to work properly, so they just made it available. Like, I didn't know that. The YouTube channel I watch for Stellaris content, like in terms of like builds and like information, actually came out with a video like a week ago. And he does a tier list of all the DLC. In terms of like what adds the most to the game, what do you want to buy? I believe S tier was Utopia. And it was Utopia. It was the new DLC that just came out. Although that one's kind of like, since it's new, it's kind of like not super accurate. He even mentions that. Like, give it time and it might fall down. I think it's just because it seems like so good compared to other DLC, potentially. A lot of the species packs are in like F tier in D tier. Or C tier. I get it. A lot of the species packs only add, like, species portraits and, like, 1 or 2 traits, and that's it. I can see those not being a priority. At least they're cheap, though. When they're on sale, they're like $4. Hello, friends. I mean, they have to. If they screw up Mass Effect 4, it's done. After Andromeda, if they screw up, like, put it this way. If Dragon Age 4 is not good, and then Mass Effect 4 is not good, I think that's just it. So, yeah. Like, Dragon Age didn't have the same problem as Mass Effect. Look, I like Andromeda. I enjoy playing it. But it is a giant mess that could have been way better. So, yeah. Dragon Age really didn't have that same problem. But mainly because of Anthem, honestly. Like, Anthem just tanked badly. I never even got to play it. I mean, I think it's still going, but I don't know anyone that plays it, so. But Dragon Age has got to be good. Mass Effect has to be good. Like, if they screw those up, that might just be the end.
This is the place. My armor's here somewhere.
Rex, why are you so close to me? I'm uncomfortable here. When someone talks to me in person this close, I'm uncomfortable. I don't like this. All right, let's not be too cavalier here. I am playing on Insane, so. Oh, well. Snipers can probably one-shot me, by the way.
Hold the line!
No, you used it, the stupid build. Aw, you used the I can't kill you ability. Alright, guys, we gotta get her. You go there. You go up there. Alright, well that's one. All that to kill one enemy. No, I'm on a random planet where I find Rex's family armor. I haven't done any of those missions yet besides Therum.
On my way.
Come on. Oh, coward. Man, why is everyone taking cover? By the way, I know I have abilities and I'm just not using them. I get it. I think I'm just going to turn abilities on because I'm just not using them. I really should since I'm on Insane, but here, let's start using them again. Just use some abilities.
That's the skull. Let's finish it.
Gotcha.
Go, go, go!
Oh, that's a sniper. Ooh, sniper bad. Sniper dangerous. Alright, I need to move up. Garrus, I want you to come up here. You could actually get behind the cover I'm hitting. Okay, that's fine.
Go, go, go! Shields disabled.
Can't walk on.
Garrus! Garrus, why did you die? You're tougher than this.
Not in my line of sight.
Ah! Level up. So I believe the last person is up. I would say upstairs, but are they upstairs? According to the radar, they're like right here and right here. Interesting. This fight took so long, I think everybody made their way downstairs. By the way, the sniper rifle in Mass Effect 1 Legendary Edition, it's too good. Like, it's really good. Huh. That's kind of unfair. You're not even looking at me. Warp. Alright. Let's use Assassinate for the last hit. See if I can get it. Yeah. Garrus is... Okay, I was going to say Garrus is still dead. That usually means there's enemies left. We're good. So, since I like to kind of like think about things and explore ideas, we were talking about what Mass Effect 4 could be in like different streams in chat, and I'm not sure what they're going to do with it. Like we had the idea like what if Shepard is still alive, but instead of being the protagonist, like the main character you control, what if you can make your own character? Whether it's human or maybe even not human, maybe? And Shepard becomes like the new Anderson / Nihilus. Where Shepard is like the new admiral and is like your commanding officer and is like training you to be a Spectre or an Alliance Marine. It depends on which way they want to do it. If they want to go like human with it, Shepard could be the new like Anderson / Hackett. He could be an admiral or even a captain. He could be in charge of the Normandy still, and maybe he's training you to be his successor, or he's training you to be like the next commander or something. Or if Shepard is still a Spectre, Shepard could be like Nihilus. Shepard is training a new Spectre. I like that idea better because it gives you the option of making an alien character. This is kind of like combining how SWTOR and Dragon Age Origins works, where when you make your character, depending on what race they are, it depends on the beginning of the game. Like if you're a Krogan, maybe you're on Tachanka, you get to do like the proving on Tachanka, or like whatever it's called that Grunt goes through, and then you get on the Normandy. Or if you're a Turian, like it'd be kind of cool to have to bring back that origin idea. I love the Dragon Age Origin mechanic, where it makes the first hour or two of the game different. So SWTOR has something similar, where depending on what you pick depends on what planet you start on, and the first part of the story. True, which is why I think the retired thing works better than being the main character again. They're retired in a sense, like they're retired from like field, stuff. Maybe they took all that damage they took throughout the entire series plus the ending. Maybe they become like I stay on the ship person now. And you can even remake. You can either pull your save data from the old games. You can either do that, or you can make your own Shepard. You could maybe when the game starts, you know how in Andromeda you can make your sibling. What if it either reads your data from the PC version, or if you're on a console version, you recreate your Shepard from a character creation. So you still get to choose your old Shepard. You can have them be your old Shepard and you just don't control them. I think that's easier to do because it also opens up options to train a Spectre. And I think it'd be fun. The idea of Shepard now being the Anderson kind of character. which is probably the kiss of death. I would imagine it might not be in Mass Effect 4, but maybe in Mass Effect 5, that Shepard would probably die. They would probably sacrifice themselves to save you, because you're like the future, like you're a future Spectre, and they'd probably sacrifice themselves. I can definitely see that being a thing. I wonder how people would take that. Now, if they're going to do that, don't do it early. Don't pull a Nihilus where Shepard's in the game and they die in the first mission, training you or something. Don't do that. People would hate that. But I think it would mean something to have like Shepard die to like protect you, or at least get captured and you have to save them, something.
This is it.
Ooh.
I can't believe my ancestors ever wore this piece of crap, but at least I've got it back.
I'm glad we could help you get it back.
I might just be starting to like you, Shepard.
Rex touches his grandfather's armor. His expression, thoughtful perhaps, Krogan are hard to read. Then he shakes off his bemusement and grips his gun with renewed purpose. Time to move on. Yeah, almost like Mass Effect multiplayer. Like the ability to make your own character and choose what class they are. I would love that. Like the idea of that. It would also give the game an excuse to let you choose different races for once. Now, if they go the Alliance route, you can at least make your own human, I guess, kind of like Shepard. But I would love if they go the Spectre route, where Shepard is a Spectre who's training other Spectres. That would open up the like what characters you could use by a lot. Will they do that? Probably not. Unfortunately. We haven't talked to people in a while. I don't want to miss any dialogue. Let's go see if anyone else has anything new to say. Ashley probably does. Rex might? I'm not sure. Liara probably does too. But imagine if you could do like any race possible. Like Geth. What if a Geth was like, I want to be a Spectre? There are no Geth Spectres, and so Shepard had to train a Geth Spectre. That'd be interesting. Now, I know they're most likely going to pick a canon ending, like Destroy, to be the canon ending of 3, that way they can work with it. Which makes sense, right? That's a big change. Also, Destroy is the only option where Shepard could potentially, like, live, quote-unquote, live at the end, so... But what if the other choices carry over? What if you saved the Geth and let the Quarians die in 3? Then maybe there's no Quarian option for your character, there's only Geth. It kind of depends on what you want to do with it. Or what if you cured the genophage for the Krogan? Or what if you didn't?
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
I just wanted to talk.
Of course, Shepard. What did you want to talk about?
No, old stuff.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
They will probably incorporate Andromeda in some way. I don't know how, but they probably should. Now, at this point, it hasn't been confirmed that Shepard's still alive. Yes, there was a tweet that made it sound like it, but it has not been confirmed that Shepard is still alive and is going to be in the new Mass Effect. For all we know, Mass Effect 4 could take place 800 years in the future, where Liara is like 900 years old now. And everyone else is dead from old age, pretty much. Except maybe Grunt, if he's still alive.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander.
Ooh.
We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Yeah. Do you...
No, Commander.
Nothing new. See, that's the issue, though. When they were ending Mass Effect 3, they were probably thinking, we're not going to make any more games after this with Shepard. We're fine. it'd be very difficult to make all 3 endings viable. Think about it. Destroy means all the Reapers are dead, right? Control means all the Reapers are alive and being controlled by, like, Shepard AI thing. And synthesis means the Reapers are also still alive, but everyone's become, like, half organic, half machine now. Those are some pretty big changes. I don't blame them for choosing Destroy as the canon ending, probably. It's probably the easiest to deal with. Yeah, they're probably going to have to choose a bunch of canon endings. Or keep it vague, maybe, a little bit. But things are going to be obvious, like, oh, there's a bunch of Krogan around. Tuchanka's actually doing pretty well. I guess we cured the genophage. Or, oh, the Quarians and the Geth are getting along and doing pretty good. I guess we saved them both. That kind of stuff. I actually had the idea that whichever race you don't make a character for is in the game as different characters. Like, if you choose to be like a Turian, for instance, then you'll find people that are like, you'll find like a Quarian or a Geth or a Krogan. You just won't find the Turian. Kind of like in a similar way how when you choose your military background in Mass Effect 1, all 3 of those happened. Elysium happened. Torfin happened. Aku's happened. You just weren't there. Kind of like that. Like, all the characters exist, but whatever race you pick is the one character who doesn't exist in the world. That's you. You're that character now. It could be a cool way to introduce, like, a nice variety of characters. And I kind of thought about, like, what if you could have a Quarian and a Geth? What if... This is the only way I could think about, like, choosing the ending between the Geth and the Quarians, or both. If you saved the Quarians and killed the Geth, you get a Quarian teammate. If you save the Geth and killed the Quarians, you get a Geth teammate. If you saved both, you get a Quarian in their suit, depending on how long it's been, that has a Geth installed into it. It's mentioned that the Geth will install themselves into Quarian suits to help them deal with their immune system faster. By, like, it's probably like by introducing, like, little pathogens and, like, little, you know, things, and then having them heal from it, getting their immune system stronger. So imagine having, like, a Geth Quarian hybrid teammate. I mean, Geth don't have to be bodies. They can just be an AI installed in something. I figured that'd be a good way around the whole, like, what happens if one of them's dead?
Commander, I wanted to thank you.
What
Remember
for,
to
Garrus?
stay hydrated. For everything.
Shepard!
Taking me with you, letting me be part of your team. I've learned a lot. I've thought a lot about what you've told me. About not sacrificing innocence to achieve the goal. About finding the best way through, not just the fastest. And I've been thinking about Dr. Saleon, too. I'd convinced myself that he deserved to die, but then I started thinking about why I wanted him dead. I realized it wasn't because of what he did to those people. That was part of it, but I think most of it was because he got away from me. He escaped under my watch, and I didn't like that. I let it become personal.
I'm glad you see it that way. Keep that in mind when we meet Saren.
Don't worry, Commander. I will.
Good. I also wish there was a bigger mechanic in this game for that. Kind of like in Dragon Age Origins, where you have, like, the hardened mechanic. If you make certain people a little more, well, not nice, it shows in their personality by the end of the game. Garrus, you can kind of do that with a little bit. And you can do that with Kaidan, too. I actually did not know this. There's a way to make Kaidan, like, space racist. If you keep talking to him about how the council sucks and, like, humanity needs to stand alone and all this, you convince him to become, like, pro-human. And there's a point where I actually saw that, like, I found a YouTube video for it. And there's actually a point where he's like, yeah, the council sucks. And Shepard's like, well, I mean, they have their use. And Kaidan's like, what are you talking about? You've been talking about how aliens suck this whole time. Now you're saying you don't care, you don't think that? It's like you backpedal on it, and Kaidan's just like, what happened? Yeah. I did not know you could do that with Kaidan. You can, like, push him towards, like, terra firma, basically.
Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's
I already
story
did this.
about her and Hey, want me to ask her about it? Too bad those ruins... Looking forward to it, Skipper.
Never a dull moment with you, Shepard.
You ever go on any missions like ours before?
Saving the galaxy from certain destruction? No. But I've had my share of adventures.
Do you remember any that stick out?
A few. I remember one time I was hired by a Volus diplomat. What an ass.
I guess even politicians have need of mercs from time to time, huh?
Time to time. If it wasn't for politicians, I'd be out of work. They're always looking for ways to get ahead. This one was no different. He wanted me to erase his past. Get rid of an old friend who knew too much. Huh. His old friend turned out to be an Asari commando.
Well, in my very first playthrough, Ashley was the one who was alive. I did retcon the romance, but I kept her alive. In fact, Caden didn't make it to 3 for a long time. I found it interesting that in 3, Ashley kind of gets boring. And then, like, she kind of mellows out, but also gets kind of boring. I think I like Caden better in 3. He kind of, like, loosens up a little bit.
I can see why that might give you pause.
What? No. Alina and I were old friends. Sort of. We met when we were both contracted to kill the same Turian. Neither of us wanted the other one to get him first. We spent more time fighting each other than tracking that Turian.
An Asari commando mercenary? That's unusual, isn't it?
I wouldn't say it's unusual. Mercs come in all shapes. Anyway, when I told Alina about the diplomat's contract, she and I had a good laugh about it.
So what did you do?
Well, I wasn't going to lose the contract, but I respected Alina. In the end, I let her pick the location where we'd fight. She chose some old Solarian space station overrun with mercs and smugglers. That way we didn't have to worry about hurting any innocent bystanders. Huh. She always was a bit of a softie.
What happened on the station?
What didn't happen? For 2 days I chased her through that station, used my entire store of ammunition, had to kill a bunch of mercs and use their crap weapons. By the 3rd day, the station was barely holding together. The mercs were dead or gone, life support was failing, but I had her. She'd locked herself in the med labs. She was trying to patch herself up. Damn tough, that one. Then just when I thought I had her, the station's core went critical. Barely made it back to my ship in time.
I assume the Asari commando didn't make it?
I watched the station from a distance. I never saw her leave. And when that place blew, there was nothing left larger than a Turian's right nut. So I headed back to the diplomat to give him the good news and collect my pay. But before I got halfway there, Alina sent me a message. Better luck next time. Now, I'm not superstitious, but if someone can survive that, well, they deserve to live. At least for a bit longer.
What about the diplomat? He wanted her dead.
I told him the truth. Alina was still alive and she was really pissed. I told him if he wanted to live, he'd need me around to protect him.
And he believed you.
He kept me on as his personal guard until he died. Natural causes. Easiest job I've ever had. A little boring, but credits are credits.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
So there is a theory that Alina, the Asari, is actually Arya from 2. I believe that has been like confirmed not true. Like Arya is not that character. But it's a cool little theory. Tally. Yeah, I don't think I would see them making Ashley or Kaden the main, like the player control character. I can see them making them have a good part in the game though. If Shepard is alive and ends up being like the new Hackett or Anderson, I can definitely see Kaden or Ashley maybe being, well, the new Shepard. Maybe they're kind of in charge of like the ground team while Shepard stays on the ship.
It feels like we're getting near the end, doesn't it, Shepard? With Saren, I mean.
It won't be much longer. One way or another, it'll all be over soon.
You'll find the conduit before he does. I know you will. You have to. And after this is all over, when my pilgrimage ends and I go back to my own people, I'll be proud to say I was a part of it.
We couldn't have done this without you, Tally.
You've been good to me. A lot of people treat Quarians like second-class citizens. They just want us to go back to our fleet and disappear. But you've treated me just like everyone else on your crew. Like an equal. That means a lot, and it says something about you. Whatever happens, I just want to say thank you for that.
I'm going to miss you when you go back to your own people, Tally.
That won't happen for a while yet. I'll be right here anytime you need me.
I should go.
Bye.
See you later.
Or, oh man, wouldn't it be such a, I would say slap in the face, but maybe not to some people. Wouldn't it be bad if, like, instead of Ashley or Kaden being the next, like, Shepard who commands the team for a while, what if the next Jenkins? What if, or like Nihilus? What if on the very first mission, Shepard, as the captain of the ship and like your training officer, sends you down to a planet to do a mission with Kaden or Ashley as the main character, like the party leader, and you're just there to take their orders, and then they just die like in the first 2 minutes? What if it's like it's literally just like Kaden or Ashley just dies, and it's like now you're in charge, and you have to like get the rest of your team out of there? I can see that actually happening. I'd be so bad if Kaden or Ashley survive the entire trilogy. You didn't kill him on Vermeer, you didn't kill him in 3, only to make it to that game to die in the first like 5 minutes. That'd be funny. Conrad. If he's still alive. Conrad can die in 1, 2, and 3. Boop bop 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 beep beep boop boop. Missing person. We have hostile takeover, missing person, and Novaria. I mean, personally, I would see the humor in it. Like getting Kaden or Ashley to the end of 3 is like it's a thing. They actually made it through, and then for them just to die at the very beginning. I was saying that they could do that with Shepard. Like Shepard's training you to be a Spectre or a Marine, and he just dies in like the first mission. They wouldn't do that to Shepard. But I could definitely see them doing that to Kaden or Ashley. Oh, planet time.
Meganless is a rock terrestrial with an atmosphere of sulfur dioxide and trace amounts of helium. Scans reveal ancient lava plains on the surface, implying a geologically active past. The crust consists of sulfur and basalts, but the planet's mass suggests a core of iron and heavier materials. Cursory drill coring suggests the possibility of simple subterranean life. While scanning the planet, you discovered the remains of a damaged research vessel. Your recon team found no signs of survivors, but they did bring back an Rackham outpost insignia. Theramlan is a frigid world with a thick nitrogen-argon atmosphere. The crust consists of silicates and various unremarkable ores, but is surprisingly rich in phosphates. Since the atmosphere lacks free oxygen, the phosphates are relatively pure and can be of value in the manufacture of fertilizers and incendiary ammunition. Plutonium. Amaranthine is a chilly rock world with an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Its frozen surface consists largely of light titanium and aluminum oxides, with deposits of thorium and other heavy metals located in the deep crust. Amaranthine was named by the human poet Sophia Gabriel, who, during her tour of duty aboard the Alliance surveyor ship... I never knew this is pronounced cup or coop. We'll say coop. Under the dim light of the red dwarf Fortuna, the surface of this world is lit. Is lit? Oh, in rich twilight blues and purple. Okay, alright. Okay, hold on.
I know it says lit as in like it's lit in colors of blues and purples, but I thought they just like turned to like modern day where it's like the planet's lit. Like, what the... That was weird. Coop.
Also, hello, Sergeant. Hard data on Wentania is very limited. When the system was charted by the Alliance surveyor Coop, only a small unmanned flyby probe was spared for the distant world. It is a small rock and ice planet, with a trace atmosphere of krypton and sulfur dioxide. Normandy's more detailed survey suggests the frozen terrestrial may be a suitable target for mining. While it is largely water ice, mapping of mass concentration suggests it has a core of pure aluminum.
Coop. It's coop. Or just cup. Wasn't there... Okay, hold on. I don't know how it's spelled. Wasn't there a Transformer character that was spelled that way? Isn't there? His name is Cup, I think, but I think it's spelled K-U-P-E. So, Cup? Oh, it is. Okay, it's only Cup. Okay. I wasn't sure if it had an E on the end of it or not. Interesting name for a Transformer. Normally, Transformers' names are like, you know, things that kind of sound similar to what they are. Kind of. And you just have Cup. Huh. We're going to meet a woman who is the leader of a gang or crime syndicate. We could be expecting trouble. So I could bring Rex along. I feel like he could be some muscle, but then we'll also bring Liara. I don't know why. Which Transformers? There's a lot of them now. You have the original 80s series, you have Beast Wars, you have the movies, you have the 1986 animated movie, you have the Michael Bay movies. There's like several different cartoon series. Which I have not seen any of those. Dark Moon, oh, that's like isn't it like the second or third Michael Bay one? Yep, Cup is in the 1986 animated movie, and then in the season 3 of the 80s series. If anyone isn't aware, the movie is like a giant toy commercial, because in between seasons 2 and 3, they like added a bunch of new characters and got rid of all the old ones, and the movie introduces them.
Let's get moving.
And of course, you know what that means? New toys. I kind of like the 86 movie. I think it's kind of good for being a toy commercial. I kind of like it. It has good music for the time, like good 80s soundtrack. It's good. I remember renting it when I was like 6. I think I was like 6. Yeah. I was a little too young to have watched Transformers as it was coming out. It only lasted 3 seasons, and it was in like the mid-80s, like late 80s. I was born in 86, so I kind of missed out on that. By the time I was old enough to like watch something and remember what it was, Turtles and Power Rangers. Turtles, Power Rangers, and Nicktoons were my thing. And Saturday morning cartoons on Fox, like X-Men, Spider-Man. Those were my shows. What other Saturday morning cartoons were there on Fox besides Spider-Man and X-Men? I know there's others. There was Bobby's World. I think that was a little earlier than that. There was Life with Louie, I think. There was like some other ones in there. Oh, there was Eek the Cat, which I didn't watch. I don't think I liked it as a kid. There was also The Tick. And then, of course, for Nicktoons, there were the classics. Rugrats, Doug, Ah Real Monsters, Rocko's Modern Life, as messed up as that show is for kids. I watched that. He found an intricate beaded necklace marked with the Galatana colony insignia. We have thorium and uranium. Uranium is rare. Thorium might be heavy, I'm not sure. I only need heavy metal now, but I do get money for finding them and experience. Now, as an adult, you ever like go on eBay or just hear about something where it's like a toy you played with is worth a ton of money now if it was just like still in its packaging? Yeah, I can relate to that. I have a lot of toys in storage or just like got thrown away over time because I just played with them a little too hard and they broke that are worth quite a bit. Like I had some X-Men toys that were like from like when the cartoon first started on Fox, they came out with a bunch of like X-Men toys. Those sealed are worth quite a bit. I had several of those. Turtles toys. I had a bunch of those. Power Rangers. I had a ton of Power Ranger toys. I had like a lot of the Zords. That kind of stuff is probably worth a decent amount, even out of its packaging. But they're all just destroyed or just like sold at yard sales or something. Like I don't have much of it left, unfortunately.
Hello again, Commander Shepard. I owe you a debt of gratitude. With my former partners dead, this syndicate is now mine. I could not have done it without you.
Yep, it was Shinra after I hit the button like 5 times. Because the random button keeps coming up with the same exact ones every time. Yeah. I only did that one because the other ones were even more recent. I'm eventually going to do it in a way where it's not in chat, so I can read it myself. Like I can read it on a screen somewhere that's not in chat that moves, and I can control it better.
I killed them because they deserve it. Now I'm placing you under arrest.
Surely you don't think that necessary. Under my leadership, this organization will restrict itself to gambling and smuggling illegal technologies. These crimes are hardly worth your time. If you press the issue, my assistants are very well equipped to deal with you.
Are they?
This gang has a reputation for drugs and slaving. It's too late to change that.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps this organization has been so tainted by those 2 idiots that it cannot be redeemed. If I disband the gang, I walk away freely. I have not come so far to be arrested. I would die before going to prison. I would most certainly kill before going to prison. Now, do we have a deal?
You're free to go. I don't ever want to see this gang again. If I do...
You won't. I'm not so foolish as to break my word to a Spectre. Now, if you'll excuse me, my men become nervous in the presence of law enforcement agents. Goodbye, Shepard.
Helena bows graciously and withdraws as her men escort you out. It's doubtful you'll see her again. Until Mass Effect 2. Well, let's go get these. They're worth a little experience. Yeah, that's true. See, right now you can kind of play a Shepard that's like more high and mighty and like more Boy Scout like, because we're in Citadel space, mostly. But once we start doing like Mass Effect 2 stuff where we're hanging out on Omega and Ilium and places where it's just like kind of like gray and dirty, then it's like, oh, you have a gang? Eh. Thorium. And uranium. Do I have any missions to turn into on Citadel? I don't think I do. Do I? I don't think I have anything left on the Citadel besides talk to Conrad one more time after doing Ferris or Novaria. And then the missions that appear once I go back there for the last time. I've already done the mission for being a colonist. I've already done the mission for being a war hero. I haven't done the Akuz one yet. Maybe that'll pop up somewhere. I kind of, as much as I've played this game, I never remember which systems have what missions. Well, it means something in that when people know you're a Spectre, they know you can fight, and you have guns. That's it. Like they won't respect you. They won't respect Citadel law. They'll just respect you as someone who can kill them. This actually might be the Tombs one.
Shrouded by a thick atmosphere of complex hydrocarbons, Jan Thorel has never been fully mapped. The surface is hot and completely covered by a global ocean of liquid hydrocarbons. There are indications of primitive organic life developing deep within the global ocean. Your scan unveiled an ancient deep space probe solely orbiting the planet. Tally brought it on board and dismantled it, and found a League of One medallion. Good job, Tally. Antitara is a standard hydrogen helium gas giant with traces of ammonia. Hydrocarbons in the atmosphere lend it a distinct brown tint. Boring. Trellin is a lifeless rock with a trace amount of xenon and krypton. Its surface contains large amounts of iron and magnesium silicates. Due to heavily cratered terrain, starships are discouraged from landing. A Solarian religious cult claims that a certain pattern of overlapping craters in the southern hemisphere resembles their goddess. A standard hydrogen helium gas giant, the Salgon's atmosphere is tinted blue by trace quantities of methane. A lot of boring planets in here. Salgon has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. The surface is frozen and mainly composed of cobalt with deposits of copper. Planet-side conditions are hazardous with constant ice storms wrecking the surface. Oh, it's this one. Okay, yeah.
This is not the Tombs one. This is the guy who is on the Citadel. We're looking for his brother. A faint trail of radioactivity particles, possibly exhaust from a sublight nuclear engine drive, leads towards the nearby planet of Zalwyn. Yep. I mean, I don't know. Alright, well, we're expecting trouble. We're expecting trouble. It is obvious we're expecting trouble because they were attacked. We're going to bring Ashley and Garrus. We'll bring in some muscle. Out of all the side quests I can remember finding on random planets, that Tombs one is the only one I can remember I haven't done yet. Warning! Oh, but it's next to a thing. I would have done this. Well, we're gonna go fight a Thresher Maw, which means possible death. Could be my first death. Where am I supposed to go? Here. Let's, I like to have the mission thing be the last thing I do on the planet, although I guess it doesn't matter too much. Let's go fight the Thresher Maw first. Solo missions? I would like Mass Effect to finally do, Andromeda did do this somewhat. When you were in the Nomad, at least. I like Dragon Age games because when you're walking around, you get random dialogue. In 2 and 3, I love that. I love walking around and just getting like little dialogue between two characters and learning about them. Inquisition has some great party banter. Andromeda did do that in the Nomad, but there wasn't that much of it. I would love if Mass Effect 4 took a page from Dragon Age and you had like a ton of like little dialogue between two characters back and forth. That'd be fun. Well, we know what's coming. Hello. Oh, that hit me. Ah, why are you so loud? Oh, well, it didn't work that well. Go that way. One more hit and it's dead. Oh, it's doing this again. There it is. Ah! Almost got me. Almost got me. Ah, okay. Oh, okay. We're safe now. There is a mod to increase that. It doesn't work perfectly though. And so, like sometimes it doesn't work properly. You have to like redo your party and then come back in. There's also an unfortunate thing where if you go to a base, it usually if you use the horn to like cycle your party members and then exit it, it's supposed to trigger the audio. But there's someone in the camps that'll just like interrupt it every time. There's a mod to fix that, which never worked for me. Yeah, it is better than the default. The roar froze the stream. It looks fine on my end. Maybe try refreshing. Maybe Twitch is just being Twitch. Ah! No. It hasn't done it in a while, but there was a period of time where every time I watch a stream on Twitch, I'd have to refresh like every 20 minutes. It would just like the thing would just crash or just freeze and have to reload it, and which would trigger ads again. But that actually did fix itself at some point, so. Okay. I don't think we have a clear reason why Thresher Maws are on multiple planets. My joke answer is the Krogan. when the Krogan were doing their Krogan rebellions, they got to the point where they were just dropping, like, asteroids on planets. That's why the genophage was okayed, by the way. Like, the Krogan were dropping asteroids on planets, which is, like, forbidden. You're not supposed to do that. It's like biological warfare. Like, don't do that. So maybe the Krogan, like, put a bunch of Thresher Mauls on random planets because they thought it was funny. It's a bunch of uninhabited planets because they're like, hey, we can live with Thresher Mauls. They come from Tachanka. We can live with them. Other people are too squishy. If we put them on random planets, they'll just kill people, and then we'll take them later. Probably not the reason why, but I like to joke about it. Yeah. Like, they did it either to seed the planet for later, like knowing that it would make it very difficult for other species to live there and colonize it, or just for fun. They probably thought it was funny. They live with them all the time, so why didn't bother them? Beep beep. Missile just chased me. I think we're good. So what mission is this? This is maybe, I can't even tell. Oh no, yeah, this is the, yeah, this is, we already talked about it. See how my memory is terrible? I already forgot what mission I was on. Hello. Cover, people. Cover. I don't have any crowd control. I probably should have brought some biotics. Especially for you. He might have abilities. Okay. Mass Effect 1 AI. You're behind that one. Wrong button. I actually forget how to okay, yeah, detonate that way. Okay. Same button. Ah. Nope. There you are. That's right, Garrus. If you shoot enough, you'll make it through the wall. Keep going. As I said, Mass Effect 1 AI. Careful. Oh, this pistol's the, what's this pistol called? Predator Phalanx. This is the Phalanx pistol. without the laser sight. Hmm. Did I ever get that crate before? I don't remember there being a crate there. Have I missed that every single time? Hmm. Nope. Nope. I hate these things. I really don't like these puzzle things. I kind of miss the ones on console where you could just press a button. Well. You have discovered the corpse of Captain Willem of the MSV Majesty. His stiff fingers are wrapped tightly around a small data pad. So we don't take the body with us, by the way. We take the data pad. So when his brother's like, hey, did you recover his body so we can have a proper funeral? Oh, no, I left him on... just left him on that planet. In a building with a bunch of dead people. All right, let's go, team. So there was like one or two more things to check on this planet, I think. There was... Oh, yeah. Anomaly, an abandoned camp, and anomaly. Luckily, this planet's pretty flat. We could just go straight there. Oh, I was okay. I was wondering why I was like drifting to the side and couldn't move. Whoops. Interesting. That's not on the map. I just discovered a bug with the mod. This mod is supposed to show you where everything is. Notice how this map doesn't show any mineral deposits? Apparently on this world, the mineral deposit part of it doesn't work. Because there's one right here. See if I can, like... There we go. Maybe it has to do with the fact this planet isn't landable until you interact with the shuttle that was damaged, the ship that was damaged. Maybe that's why. It can't be a coincidence, maybe. I guess it can. Oh, you know what? We already talked about this earlier, but you know what show I'm kind of in the mood to rewatch again? Stargate! Or Star Trek Voyager. Either one. I tend to rewatch those quite a bit. I haven't watched through Voyager in a while. It's a Geth trap. What? Yep. Once again, I can't turn off the beacon. If this beacon was a Geth trap, shouldn't I turn it off so no one else gets led here? Even if the Geth are dead. It'd be a waste of time at the worst. At best, it's a waste of time for somebody. At worst, Geth reinforcements show up. It's alright, I guess. I guess somebody else will stumble upon it. Woo! There's also another sci-fi show I've been wanting to rewatch. I never actually finished it. And look, I like binging shows, but I have to remind myself of this. I always talk about how binging shows, I still remember most of it. I know binging can lead to like not remembering them very well. Here's the thing I need to remember. One, The older I get, the less I'll remember. That's just a known fact. But also, the shows that I binge sometimes, I've already seen through. Like Star Trek Voyager, I watched through slowly over the course of like a few years, a long time ago. And Stargate, I already talked about this. I binged through Stargate SG-1 in like 3 months. But then I watched it again later. And then again. And then like sporadically watched other episodes when I was in the mood for it. But over time, it kind of just sunk in. I was also younger then. So I binged Battlestar Galactica. But this is only like a year ago. And I binged it. I watched like 10 episodes a day. Sometimes. Like I watched it very quickly. None of it really sunk in. So instead of binging that, I kind of want to make a rule where if I do rewatch the series and actually finish it, I'm only going to watch like 2 episodes a day. That way it kind of sinks in better. There appears to be no one left at this camp. The generator is still functioning, but there is no signs of the former occupants. The camp's computer notes several... Oh, that's why! This is probably the reason why the mod doesn't work on this planet. Like that maybe there was like a conflict with that, since it also does that. Somehow the minerals were affected. Well, there's one of 2 reasons. Because of this, or because you couldn't land here until you interacted with the ship. Something in there makes the mod not work with minerals on this planet. No, coding's weird. About 3 years ago, I was working on like a simple platformer game with an engine called Godot, and I was messing with it with a friend. And let me tell you, when you remove a piece of code because it does, you think it's like obsolete. Sometimes it's not. It appears this person was trying to mark the nearby mineral deposits when he died or was killed. You'd be amazed how much an entire game can change, like physics-wise and like mechanical-wise, when you remove like one line of code you thought was obsolete or just old. Oh, we'll remove this one line of code that we don't think we need anymore. Oh, why is our character now floating? Like, it's just, it's stuff like that. Like, it's just like, it does the weirdest things. We're good. Yeah, well, this was like 3 years ago. I'm not sure if it's gotten better or worse or what. I never learned coding or programming, so I kind of just picked it up as I went. Godot uses its own language, but it's kind of like apparently it's closest to like C#, I think. We're not going to go there just yet, but we can go here. This is where Eden Prime is. There's no missions here, but we can at least read about the planets. But yeah, part of the programming thing I mentioned before, when I was in school at least, I was pretty decent at like trying to figure out how to do stuff with limited knowledge. Like, let's say math, for instance. You would learn how to do something in math, right? And it'd be this long, convoluted process for a test. And then the next year, you might learn how to do it again, but it's like an easy way. Like, why didn't I learn this the first time? And it's kind of like that. Like, you put together pieces of things to try to, like, figure something out. Math was a good example of that, because that's what you could do that. You could, like, take what you've learned. Sometimes a teacher would do that. They'd give you a problem they haven't taught you how to do yet. And through piecing together other things you've learned, you can do it. It's not efficient and it takes forever, but you can do it. So there were times where we were coding something, it's like, I don't know how to do this. And I would just come up with like some code that was like, it's really messy and it might interfere with something down the road, but it works now until we figure out how to do it better.
An unusually large terrestrial world, Arcadia has a dense atmosphere composed of nitrogen and helium. Its scorching hot surface is mainly composed of alkaline basalts, but metal deposits are plentiful. This idyllic agrarian world was one of the first human colonies established beyond the Chiron mass relay. Eden Prime's biosphere is unusually well suited for importation of Earth-native life. This fertility drew heavy immigration and development by the Systems Alliance and various corporations. Today, Eden Prime is a model of sustainable organized development. The population is housed in space-efficient arcologies that tower over thousands of kilometers of green fields and orchards. Zion is a hydrogen-helium gas giant even larger than Jupiter. Despite its deep gravity well and lethal radiation, it supports a small helium-3 mining industry. The reason is simple. As the only gas giant in the Utopia system, it is the only local source of fuel for Eden Prime's power stations and spaceports. Zion has 112 satellites, ranging from captured asteroids to the moon of Asphodel, which is large enough to retain a thick atmosphere. Nirvana has a trace atmosphere of xenon and krypton. The surface is a mix of water ice and iron oxides, with cryovolcanic plumes of potassium concentrated around the equatorial ridge. Nirvana has little of commercial or scientific interest. Though a few geological research stations were constructed in the early 2160s, all have been shut down for years. The Alliance maintains an automatic ice cracking station, which has quietly stockpiled a large amount of deuterium fuel for use by the fleet. So apparently deuterium is a real thing. Like, deuterium's always been like a sci-fi Star Trek thing. Apparently it's real. Xanadu's atmosphere is composed of methane and argon. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of potassium with deposits of calcium. Its location in the deep cold of the outer system and its lack of any valuable resources leave little to recommend it.
So a few things. Deuterium is real. I don't know. I don't remember what it is. Helium-3 is also real. Apparently. Yeah, deuterium's heavy water. Helium-3 is, well, helium-3. I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to be either, but apparently it's also real. Also, this is the Utopia system. There's a naming convention here. Where do they all come from? I've heard of Arcadia. I just don't know where from. Eden Prime is just like the Garden of Eden, I guess. Zion is all... I know I've heard... besides the city in The Matrix. I know I've heard of Zion, too. And that sounds more like a biblical thing. And then Nirvana is, yeah, like paradise. And then Xanadu I've also heard of. I've heard of all of these. I just can't quite tell you where they're from. But they all probably kind of mean one thing, like paradise. It's an element found in huge quantities on the moon. Oh. Well, I think it's time to do a mission. Where? I still don't know where that Tombs mission is. The Corporal Tombs mission. I'm pretty sure I haven't done it yet. Or did I? Did I already do it? I don't remember. It's the one mission I'm like remembering that we haven't done yet. Or at least I think I haven't done yet. I do need to go back and tell that guy his brother's dead. Find the downed medical ship in the Hydra system of the Argus Rho cluster and provide... Didn't I already do that? Argus Rho Hydra. Thought I already did that. Well, that's confusing. I did this... Didn't I already do this? Yeah. Yeah, I already read these. Did I just forget to interact with the right thing? Oops. All right, everybody, back to the planet. I'll just bring whoever. We'll bring these two. I'm the best commander ever. Commander, we haven't finished this planet. No, we're leaving now. We're done. Wait a minute. Have I not been here? But I thought I read the planets. I'm very confused right now. Wasn't this where, Oh, this is confusing. Did I just read all the planets and then not land here? That's possible. It is possible I did that. The planet names sounded familiar, though. Or I'm just losing my mind and they're not. What? While searching the wreckage, you found a very old letter stamped with the Gothis colony insignia. Byproduct of tritium decay. Like deuterium, okay. Now here's a question. I'm assuming I know the answer to this question, but hey. Deuterium and helium-3 have kind of been like a sci-fi thing for a while, right? They're like a go-to for fuel or other stuff. I'm going to imagine it already existed, right? Like, for us, like humanity already knew they existed and then used them in sci-fi. It wasn't like a thing where, I doubt this would ever happen, but I can see it happening. It wasn't like a thing where we used it in sci-fi terminology and then we discovered something and we're like, you know what? Let's name it after something from Star Trek. You can see that happening, right? Imagine if we ever find like dilithium crystals. If we find a crystalline shape thing that lets us go fast in space, and we're like, what do we call this? Like, well, what if the person who discovers it's a fan of Star Trek? And they're like, you know what? I'm going to call them dilithium crystals. And then like 100 years from now, it's like, oh, the dilithium crystals in Star Trek they were named based on the technology we have. And it's like, no, that was way later. I know it's a dumb question, but I could see someone like discovering deuterium and then being a fan of Star Trek and being like, what if we name it after something in Star Trek? Ah. Oh, I can't brute force this one. Oh. Well. Bum bum ba dum bum bum. Mercury is definitely a rare metal. Thorium, I don't remember. Whee. Mercury is very interesting. Like when I was in chemistry class in school, I really wasn't a big fan of chemistry. Of course, being a math nerd to an extent. The thing I liked about chemistry was the thing I was actually best at and also kind of enjoyed, oddly enough, was balancing equations. Like when you had to balance like a chemical interaction or like a chemical reaction, you had to balance the equation. Like this, and this now equals this, and this. But the one thing I actually didn't like that everyone seemed to love were labs. It's mostly probably because students rather be walking around the room doing something than just sitting in class taking notes. I get it. But I really wasn't a fan of chemistry labs. And it was mostly because of the notations you had to do. Like the record keeping. I'm not very good at like writing at all. And I just really didn't like having to do like a lab report. Because it was more than just data. You also had to like, you know, actually write some stuff. And I just don't like writing. I don't put my thoughts in writing very easily. Maybe having to do with the fact that my mind just goes on tangents randomly. So when you try to write like that, it just doesn't work. And people don't like that. Like teachers especially don't seem to like that. Like, how'd you get here? Like, I don't know.
There is the wreckage. I do not see any survivors, though.
Careful. Death! It's a trap.
Beep beep. Oh, that was a bad miss. All right. Anyone else left? Nope, nothing. All right, well, that was it. I think the reason why I was confused was because this mission also has the Geth Trap, and maybe I kind of combined them in my head. Well, a lot of the periodic table is just stuff we made, right? Like, there's a big section of just man-made ones that lasted, like, 0.2 seconds or something. Honestly, I mean, we need to go into space. I feel like we're probably not going to discover new elements until we go out into space and find some weird stuff. I'm kind of sad that we just kind of stopped space stuff for a while. We made it to the moon, and that was kind of it. Like, I'm kind of sad about that. I wish we had just, like, kept with the space stuff and kept going. Alright, let's get some mercury. Oh yeah, speaking of the chemistry thing. See what I mean? Like, I just kind of, like, go on a tangent and just forget what I talked about in the first place. We never mess with mercury for obvious reasons, because it's, you know, deadly. But, we actually did mess with a few things that were kind of dangerous, and we were just dumb. Like, I remember we were doing the stuff with ammonia, and you had, like, those little, like, plastic well things where you had, like, 20 of them, and you had to, like, put different things in them to see how they react. You're supposed to put, like, the saran wrap, it was probably just saran wrap, over them, so the fumes of the ammonia don't, like, you know, you don't keep breathing it in. And I did that, but there was a point where I, like, got distracted, of course, because I'm me. I left the saran wrap off of it, which is like 20 mini wells of just ammonia. And I'm kind of like walking around the room at different stations looking for what I need, and I forgot to recover it. So as I'm walking, I'm just like inhaling these ammonia fumes constantly, because it's like it's like I'm holding it like in a way like where it's like near my chest. And afterwards I was like, why do I feel so dizzy? Like, why do I feel kind of messed up? And I was like, oops. Just dumb stuff like that. Like when I was in physics class, we were doing a thing that required like currents. with batteries. I'm not sure why we were doing like circuits in physics class, and I was like holding 2 batteries in my hand and I connected them with something, and I wasn't paying. My hands were just like kind of like working on their own. I was like fidgeting basically, and my hands started to burn, and I was like, why are my hands burning? It's because I connected the 2 batteries to the circuit, and they were both just like getting hotter and hotter. Stuff like that. Beep bop 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 boop bop beep beep. Alright, back to this since I got that done now. I need 1 more metal. 1 more Prothean artifact thing, 3 more writings. I can go turn that in this. Let me check this. Did I do that mission? Lost freighter. No. Lost module. No. Pilgrimage. Got the incursion. Which one? No. 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 Nope, did that one. I remember that one. Oh, that one's done. Good. No more minerals for me. Missing survey team. That was the cult one, no. Prophet. These are all Citadel based. Major Kyle, Distress Call, was the Geth one. That's it. I haven't found it yet. Where does that mission take place? Is that one of the missions you unlock after going Ferris or Novaria? Normally those are related to what they are. Novaria unlocks some Rachni stuff, and Pharos unlocks some Thorian stuff. I don't know how I missed it. Gonna say maybe it's in the same system as another mission that I can't see it because the flag only shows one thing, but... Oh, that's weird. I don't know where that mission is. Now I'm gonna look it up. I'm curious. Mass Effect Tunes. Tunes. It's called UNC Dead Scientists. Okay, how do I begin this mission? While on Novaria, you find a log listing an unauthorized transmission. It's in the Newton system. I guess that is the one I unlock by going to Novaria. There's that one, but also, I guess, a Rachni one. Huh. Because I don't have the Newton system yet, do I? I don't. Okay. Yeah. Well, it said system or cluster. Man, hold on. Did it say system or cluster? I don't remember. The Newton system of the Kepler Verge. So the Kepler Verge is what we want with the Newton system. Kepler Verge. We don't have that one yet either, do we? Oh, there it is. Wait, here's the Newton system. Why is the mission just not here? There's no flag for it. Maybe I missed it because the flag is broken for it?
Message coming in.
Well, there it is.
Patching it through.
Interesting.
I received some troubling information, Commander. We need your help. Someone is killing former Alliance scientists. There have been 4 deaths in the past month.
I'm happy to look into it, Admiral. What can you tell me?
All 4 scientists worked on a classified project on Akuz. There was a brutal massacre there years ago. An entire unit was killed by Thresher Maws. It was classified as a natural hazard, but the project dates coincide with the attacks.
You think these scientists had something to do with the attack?
I'm not certain what I think, but it's worth investigating. There was one other scientist on the project, Dr. Wayne. I'm transmitting his last known coordinates. Good luck. 5th Fleet out.
Though Antaram's surface is uncomfortably hot, its nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere and abundant shallow seas make it an ideal candidate for habitation by most known species. Unfortunately, the orbit of the moon of Thonal has been slowly decaying since the system coalesced. Its proximity is beginning to have tidal effects, and its dynamo-like revolution through Antaram's magnetic field is generating increasing powerful electrical storms. While some have suggested an emplacement of Mass Effect drives in an attempt to lighten the moon and correct its orbit, the scale of such a project, tens of thousands of drives, costing enough to bankrupt the governments of all the Citadel races, make it a pipe dream. A multi-racial effort is underway to catalog and preserve the unique genetic diversity of Antaram's vibrant young biosphere. Exogeny Corp and Hayuan Genomics represent the Alliance's share of the effort. Clinkery is a rock and ice planet with an atmosphere composed of chlorine and argon. The frozen surface is mainly composed of potassium with deposits of iron. Clinkery is famously nicknamed by the eccentric Volus billionaire, Kuben Shoal. He claims that a vision of a higher being told him to seek on Clinkery the lost crypts of beings of light. These entities were supposedly created at the dawn of time to protect organic life from synthetic machine devils. Shoal has been excavating on Clinkery's toxic surface for 2 decades, at great expense. No government has valued the world enough to evict his small army of mercenaries. Scans of the planet revealed the cockpit of a Volus trading vessel. There are no signs of the rest of the ship, but the salvage team discovered one of Matriarch Delenaga's writings in the ship's systems. So,
this is a thing. Lost crypts of beings of light. And protects organics from synthetic machine devils. Does that sound familiar? This sounds like the AI child at the end of 3. Like being of light. Or being of light could also mean someone else. It could also just be a thing of like, they call them beings of light because they're in space, like light of the sun or light of the stars. I don't know. But it kind of sounds like, well, obviously machine devils sounds like the Reapers. Kind of sounds like the Leviathans, doesn't it? They built this AI to solve the problem of synthetics killing organics, which then made the Reapers. This could be about that, or it could be about a previous species. Before the Protheans, before the Inusani that came before them. It could be about a species that was kind of like the most advanced in the galaxy, trying to help defend them against the Reapers. Could be. Junkro
is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of chlorine and sodium in its upper atmosphere. Like Uranus and the Sol system, it is tipped on its side, its north pole facing the star Newton. Hydrogen. Sesmos is an ice dwarf world, its surface composed almost entirely of frozen water. Normally, a planetoid this small would not rate inclusion on the system's charts, but Sesmos' unusually large and beautiful ring of ice crystals has made it a popular subject for visual artists. The ring is the result of a glancing equatorial impact, which left a large trench and threw a great deal of melted water into the atmosphere. The rings are a temporary feature that will completely decay in a few thousand years. Aww.
That's kind of sad. Oh, I missed that. It's called the Island of Stability. Island of Stability, huh? So, we are going to find some missing scientists. Well, we'll bring... We really don't have a scientist here besides Liara, and she's more of an archaeologist, so it's like not exactly her thing, but I'll bring her anyway. She's the closest thing we have to a scientist. And we'll also bring Garrus for reasons. I mean, this is kind of like an investigation. Were the scientists that were killed involved? What's happening? And Garrus is the closest thing we have to a space detective. Oh no, I recognize this planet. This is one of the, is this the one? Maybe not. No. There is, remember how annoying that planet with the monkeys is to get around? How instead of having like smooth mountains, they're like all jaggedy and rocky. There's one more planet that's green. That's very annoying. I think it's one of the planets unlocked by one of the main missions. Ferris or Novaria. It's very jaggedy and very difficult to traverse. I don't know why I'm going this way. But yeah, these mountains are at least kind of like rounded a little bit, so they're easier to go up. I can also not avoid the mineral deposits. I know I get a little bit of money from them, but like, look at this one. It's like at the top of a mountain somewhere. I don't feel like dealing with that. You know what we need? In trying to think of like new emote ideas for the future, how about a bouncing Mako? How about a bouncing Mako? I was thinking like, because I know a few people that have like the driving emotes, like where their avatar or just them has like a steering wheel in front of them and they're kind of just like driving like crazy. Kind of like the Mog steer one. Is that still in here? Did I leave that one? Mog steer. Mog steer. Oh, there it is. That one. Since I like the Mako so much, maybe it could just be like a bouncing Mako. Ooh. Time to hack the corpse. It's unclear what happened to this woman. She had an ancient paper book with the Bostra Outpost insignia. Oh. The diversity mod replaced the usual male Turian body with a female Turian body. Since you didn't see a female Turian until the DLC in Omega in 3. This mod added some female Turians into C-Sec and maybe a few others on the Citadel, just to make it seem more realistic. It's like in the world of Mass Effect, female Turians didn't exist until 3. I guess female Krogan didn't either. I mean, Drell didn't exist as a species until 2. I'm not sure if you'll see a Drell here. I think the diversification mod only added female Turians and Krogan, and like a few more other aliens around Citadel to make it seem more like it's not just all humans. But I don't think it added any Drell. Although seeing Drell on the Citadel wouldn't make sense anyway. The Drell are like a dying species, and they're pretty much only on the Hanar homeworld, and in the Terminus systems as like assassins. So it kind of makes sense. How's it going? Pretty good. We haven't died yet. I'm still on Insane, right? No. Yeah, I'm still on Insane. It's just the sniper rifle's so powerful now, it just feels like I'm not playing Insane. Also, the enemy AI in this game, and ally AI, is just not that good. When we get to 2 and 3, I'll be dying quite a bit. I will make up for the lack of deaths in this game with 2 and 3. Probably more so 3. In 3, it's Cerberus that kills me. The turrets and the grenades are usually what kills me. In 2, it's usually the Praetorian fights. And sometimes the Scions. Ow. Whee! I miss Ragdoll in Mass Effect 2 and 3. How did you live that? Didn't live that. I do see there's one more enemy left alive. I'll let him live. I'll let him live. He can tell the others, don't mess with Shepard. Alright, generally these bunker fights are a little more difficult for me. I don't know why. Like the prefab shelter ones that are above ground. I mean, this one's, yeah, this one's mostly below ground. These are always a little bit harder for me. I think it's just the layout. Alright.
Heads up!
Garrus, why are you... Okay. And Singularity's so good in this game. Oh, that's a lot of, like, Krogan death people. Liara's dead.
On me.
Garrus, come back. Garrus, come back. Garrus, come back.
Rally
Garrus,
round.
come back. Well. Also, these spores are just, like... Oh, they're gone now. They're like D20s. I forget the actual term for the shape of a D20. So it's a D20. Ah. How are you up there? I'm going to assume the Singularity had to do with that. Alright, Krogan scares me. Krogan scare me. Let's go ahead and use Unity. Good job, Liara. Ow. This poor Krogan. Biotics are fun.
Form up.
Now it gets fun.
This person is a sniper, which means they're still a threat. No, they're not. Nope. Also, Remnant, I saw you were playing Stellaris more. Were you playing as robot people? I actually haven't played as robot people very often. You're going to become like the go-to like robot build person. I'll be asking you questions like, how do you play them? I want to play Rogue Servitor at some point. It sounds fun. It also sounds very powerful.
Stay back! I've got no grief with you. All I want is this bastard.
Please! He's a madman! Mr. Toombs, you're insane! You need help!
It's Corporal! Corporal Toombs! You don't get to lie! Not today! Today it all comes out!
What all comes out? I'm listening. But I need you to put that gun down.
You don't understand. I don't want to kill anyone. I want to go to sleep without screaming in my dreams. I want the people who sent me to Aku's brought to justice.
Can't you see that Toombs is crazy? Shoot him!
But if I can't get that, I'll have to settle for killing the men who took my life away.
So I always wondered. I don't remember if I've actually done this or not. Does this shoot Toombs or does it shoot the scientist? It makes it seem like you shoot Toombs, right? Because the guy was like, "Hey, shoot him." But as the renegade option, I think it'd be funny if it was just like you shoot the scientist, and it's like, well, I mean, you can put the gun down now. What happened?
What did the doctor do to you, Corporal?
We were on Aku's. When the Thresher Maws hit, my entire unit was wiped out. The Thresher Maws, the scientists were studying them. They let them hit our unit just to watch. I woke up in a holding cell. The scientists were delighted I'd survived. Now they had someone to run tests on.
What kind of tests are we talking about?
You can't believe Toombs. He doesn't have any proof. I demand a fair trial.
Ever had Thresher Maw acid in your veins? I have. They wanted to see what it would do. They treated me like a lab animal. I only escaped because somebody destroyed Cerberus, their big organization. This is justice. This man deserves to die. So, are you going to kill me or not?
Ooh. Do it. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, my Shepard would say this. I do like the let me do it option. It reminds me of a mission in 3 where someone's trying to kill like someone who betrayed the Alliance. And one of the options is, it's like, let me do it. I'm a Spectre. I can legally kill him.
You're better than this, Toombs. You're not like them.
Don't tell me what I am! Nobody knows who I am! Those bastards took it all away. They ran their tests until I screamed, until I cried. I couldn't remember my own name half the time. I should be dead, like my unit. I'm nothing. Why am I too good to murder him?
Now, I think that dialogue is somewhat new. I remember this is the Aku's mission. If you chose Aku's, he recognizes you. And if you didn't choose Aku's, well, he doesn't. But there was a glitch where if you said certain lines, he would say a line. It was something like, you got away with a scary reputation and a few scars, but they, like, messed with me. That line is supposed to be for Aku Shepard only, but it happened for everybody. I believe it was the Paragon option. Instead of saying, like, that, he said these lines. Have I really not played this Paragon since this came out? Oh. I mean, it is worse for him, honestly.
You put on a uniform, Corporal. You swore an oath. Don't let them take that from you.
Hadn't thought of it like that. Okay. I'm no murderer. They couldn't make me one. Just as long as he goes to trial. Maybe the screaming will stop now. I don't know.
Ew.
Those bastards can't hurt you anymore. Joker, tell the 5th Fleet we need a ship for pickup.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Toombs stares earnestly at the floor, lost in his memories. You give the scientist a shove towards the door. Your mission is complete. The Alliance courts will take it from here. And that's it. Good thing I checked to see. I'm surprised I remembered this exact mission than I hadn't done it. Although I was talking about like the background specific mission, so I guess that makes sense. We can go to the Citadel and turn in that one mission. Oh. Oh, I have to just interact with the map, probably.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
I reviewed your report on the situation, Commander. I'm glad to see you were able to take Dr. Wayne in alive. Now we can put him on trial and get some answers. Corporal Toombs seems to have found some closure. Hopefully with therapy, he'll have a normal life again someday. Thank you again for your assistance, Commander. Fifth Fleet out.
It really doesn't make sense that a sole survivor Shepard would ever work with Cerberus in 2, even if they did rebuild you. Cerberus was responsible for a coups. And depending on how you're playing your Shepard, I mentioned before, I like this kind of middle ground. In some games, you can kind of just give them their own background. But since it's not part of the game, that background cannot be, well, part of the game. You can't have dialogue specific to it if you made it up yourself. Kind of like an XCOM or like a Final Fantasy 1, or you give your own character's backstory, but the game can never touch on it because you made it yourself. Then there's the ones where it's so specific, they can do like some amazing story points, but there's no wiggle room. You can't roleplay it any different. Like, this is your character, this is their motivation, this is their backstory, that's it. This game has just enough of both. You could make it so what you could play your Shepard where a coups is still in your mind, and you play it that way, like you're paranoid, you're just like, then you'll never trust Cerberus, all that stuff. Or you could play it as like a learning experience. You kind of let it go, you got past it, kind of like Colonist. Your planet Mindor was attacked by a bunch of alien slavers and killed your family and friends, or enslaved them. You could play it as your Shepard is very angry, looking for a fight. He hates aliens. Or you could play it as a learning experience, so you understand that all aliens aren't the same, that they were just a bunch of pirate slavers. Doesn't matter what kind of people, it doesn't matter what race they were. And you join the Alliance to make sure it doesn't happen again. That's how I tend to play my Shepard. But I do like there's just enough wiggle room to kind of like play it differently if you want to. One of my Iron Shepard playthroughs, which is like the one life thing, I did that twice and died both times on Theorem. That was in the original Mass Effect though, so maybe I'll try it again someday in this and actually get farther. But one of my characters was going to be a colonist, like ruthless, and they join the Alliance to like pick a fight with aliens, and I don't help aliens, I don't do any missions that involve aliens. It's a way to roleplay the character, but also to limit the playthrough. If my character hates aliens, I'm not going to do a side quest for an alien. Just like if my character joined the Alliance to do stuff but not explore. Like, I had one character that didn't care about exploring. They only wanted to do like missions and combat. So I would just not explore. I'd only do missions I find. Or I had a character that was all about the Alliance, a spacer. Only cares about the Alliance. So I'd only do missions that Hackett gave me. But if any other mission came up, I wouldn't do it. It's a fun way to like limit the playthrough to make it take a little less time, but also have a different kind of character. Now, we're only going to talk to somebody, so I can just bring whoever. I'm pretty sure there's no other missions on the Citadel yet. I think all I have left are the ones that unlock after coming here before going to Ilos. And Conrad. We'll bring Liara and Callie.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Oh, they have the Mass Effect 3 outfits on, like the more official ones. I do have a mod installed that makes all the stuff the same across the entire games, just making them like the word is not cohesive, consistency. That's what I'm going for. It did decide to pull from Mass Effect 3 though. That's why I have the Mass Effect 3 casual wear on, and they have the Mass Effect 3 blues on. Yep, and the more... well, that's still Mecha Mass Effect 1 armor, but...
Alliance officials report that a Geth incursion into the Armstrong cluster has been repulsed, with the Geth suffering heavy casualties. In the event of future Geth activity, the Alliance plans to maintain a strong security presence in the area.
Also, my Shepard's face is different than usual. I have a mod installed that kind of like changes a lot of the faces in this game. It also changes the character creation options a little bit. Because I did this after the game was already going, I couldn't see the difference. There's not too much difference, although I have way stronger eyebrows now. That's kind of the only difference. Alright, so... trying to think if I had anything else to do here besides just turn in that one mission. I don't think so. We already picked up the Helena Blake one. We already did that. Already finished up the consort stuff. Already talked to those two people about the baby. We did the cheater thing and the thing with Jenna. We did the mission for the doctor. Yeah, I think that's it. We scanned all the keepers. Like, that's all that's there. So let's go to the Steel Tower. This mod also randomly moved some people, like Conrad. You know how Conrad's normally in the same place every time? Doesn't make the most sense, I guess, to be in the same place, but it's easier for the player to find them. When he showed up the second time, he was like down in the markets, I think. And Emily Wong also moved from the Presidium, talking about like doing the bug, putting the bug where all the traffic goes. Instead of being up here, they were actually like right in front of CSEC. Which does make more sense, since the flight control stuff is in CSEC.
Any news? Did you find my brother yet?
I found your brother's body. His ship was attacked by privateers.
Willem's dead? I guess I should have expected this. When his ship dropped out of contact, I just knew. But I kept hoping he might still be alive.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you for finding him. It's better to know one way or the other. That's what they say, right? Please excuse me. I need to go make arrangements for his funeral.
And that's when I tell him I left the body on the planet. I didn't bring the body, I just brought the datapad. By the way, if you want to find his body, he's on this planet. Just make sure to bring some some people to help you with some combat. Those mercenaries might come to reclaim their dead friends. Who knows? So, all we have left are a few of these collectibles, that, and Pharos and Novaria. I love playing Mass Effect 1. I like 2 and 3. They have really cool cinematic moments. But there's something about how Mass Effect 1 plays, I could just play it over and over again. Like, on the Xbox, I set up like 10 different save files in Mass Effect 1 to go into 2 and 3, and I think I only finished, like, 2 of them.
Alliance officials have raided a dangerous cult controlled by a former Alliance officer, Major Kyle. Major Kyle surrendered and is now being treated for severe post-traumatic stress disorder.
I'm not sure why I went this way. I just need to go back to my ship. That's all right. There's a fast travel up here.
Welcome to the Presidium. Allow me to be your guide.
The one annoying thing I can mention about the Citadel, it changes every game. I get that it's super big and we've probably seen different places in it, but like I got used to the Citadel in this game, and then in 2 it's like, I know you only go to the wards in 2. When you go to the Presidium, you only go to the tower. Like, or like the embassies, I think. And then in 3 you go to like a couple different places too, like the hospital. I get they're different places, so it kind of makes sense. But I like the Citadel in 1. Why am I doing that? Did not mean to pull my gun out.
Tali, are the Quarians concerned that the return of the Geth will lead to more anger against your people?
The Geth killed billions and forced us from our homeworld. Most Quarians believe we have paid properly for our mistake.
I hope the other races view matters in the same light.
I don't know, I like the Quarians, but man, they make some dumb mistakes. Or just dumb
Stand
decisions.
by, shore party. Decontamination in progress. Logged. The commanding officer is aboard. Exo Presley stands relieved.
In Mass Effect 1, the Geth were only known as just robotic enemies. In Mass Effect 2, they did the whole like heretic thing, like, oh, most Geth are good. It's just the heretics that want to kill you. Even when the Geth were just like mindless killing machines in this game, I still felt sorry for them. Because the Quarians tried to murder them when they became like sapient, or when they were trying to be. They started asking questions about their soul and stuff, and it's like, oh, we better kill them. They're asking questions. I still felt sorry for the Geth, and just did not like the Quarians for that. And then in 2, when it came out that like most of the Geth are nice, they just want to live their lives, and they're actually fully open to the Quarians coming back. That's the reason why they kept the planet in the same shape. They were waiting for their creators to come back. That made it even more so. And if there was no option to save the Geth and the Quarians, and you had to pick one, I picked the Geth. I know what happens with Tali if you pick the Geth, but unless I'm romancing Tali, it's like I have to pick the Geth. They deserve a chance to live. The Quarians had multiple options to like do the right call, and they just made the wrong call every time. They tried to kill the Geth instead of like embracing them as their creation. They tried to fight the Geth in a war when the Reapers showed up. Like, they just keep doing the same dumb mistakes. The Geth deserve a chance to make their own mistakes. Like, the Quarians had their chance. If I had to pick one, I'm picking the Geth. Okay. I'm actually going to end stream early tonight. It's like 2.5 hours early, which sucks.